Right, we are back with the junior women and the 19s. In this race, there's South Africans, Tunisians, Uganda as well, and the schools or the clubs involved. You know, there's Durban Rowing Club, Sicilians Girls College, St Andrew's School for Girls, the Tunisia team. There's Kampala Rowing Club and Umtata High School. So those are just the clubs that are rowing today. Yeah, it's a nice spread from all over the place, from all over Africa.
Yeah, quite a stacked field as well. There are a lot of entries here, so it'll be a very exciting race to watch and see how the race folds out.
Yeah, I mean these the women now have been rowing for 5 years. They're approaching their last season or two, so they do have the experience and they kind of know what they're doing from before. The coaches have gone through their race plans.
Yeah, so it's a really exciting race. This is their third time rowing a 2K for everyone here in South Africa. Obviously can't speak for the Tunisians and Ugandans, but from a South African perspective, this is the third year doing 2K races, so they should have a fair amount of experience. Obviously not too much experience, but a fair amount. I mean, obviously it's still gonna burn. It's still gonna be a tough race for them, but yeah, very experienced, very great race to watch. It should be very tight. Very exciting to see how the South Africans, the Tunisians, and Ugandans
compare to each other.
Yeah, compete. Yeah, it'd be great. Great to see.
Yeah, we don't get the chance to race the Tunisians, Ugandans, Algerians, Moroccans, Egypt. We don't get that chance. What we occasionally do get is Peterhouse from Zimbabwe, though. That is.
Yeah, I think a lot of Zimbabweans. I think there's also Chisapiti. There's a lot of Zimbabweans that come to the South African National Rowing Champs every March, and they come compete against the South Africans. It's always great to compete against fellow African countries. And it's also great now. We get to compete against different countries, the Tunisians, the Ugandans. It's a great race, really great to compare ourselves to the rest of Africa. And I'm pretty sure it's also great for them to compare themselves with South Africans as well.
Yeah, and especially like the racing against like the Sicilians, St Andrews, St Mary's, especially on the girls' side, they are the top women's clubs in South Africa at the moment.
Yeah.
Continuously competing for first, second, third in every regatta.
It's a great rivalry, yeah. It's really exciting stuff to watch on the water. So it's that translates quite well into virtual rowing. It's also really exciting to watch. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so Dimitri coaches under 16s, and I coach under 14, and it is so we don't see much of each other throughout the season.
Yeah, especially because of different training days. So it's always good to commentate against a fellow like Bryce. I mean, we used to row together at university, so we go way back. So it's always exciting to.
Yeah, and as well as in school as well.
Yeah. Bryce rowed for St Stithians College for everyone that doesn't know, and I rowed for JP High School. We had a bit of a rivalry against the two of us. St Stithians usually came out on top.
Yeah, we used to go on camps together as well. It was really such a new dynamic for us as well, because we've never, we don't train against other schools on a camp, and that friendly rivalry really kind of brought us together as well.
Yeah, and it was also great to kind of train against. So St. Stithians was quite a top school, so it was great to train against them. It helped better us, and I'm pretty sure it helped better them.
Yeah,
we had some tough training camps.
Yeah, there was some tough days in the past there. 42k rows. 42. That's
5 sessions a day with the 42k row in the end. It was
a long
crazy stuff. Very memorable though. Very memorable. I'm sure these girls share the same type of memories. A lot of the girls are from the same schools, and a lot of the girls they're kind of friends with girls from different schools.
Yeah.
So I know there's a lot of St. Stithians girls that are friends with St Andrew's girls, that are friends with St Mary's girls. It's always exciting to compete against each other.
Now that rivalry really does stem across all the age groups. Not so much in under 14 that I can speak for. They're kind of moving into the high school, trying to find their own way, so they don't actually reach out to those schools as much.
They're also quite new and nervous.
Yeah, they are. It's a new experience for them.
But they soon open up and then make some great friendships, some great friendly rivalries, and they enjoy their rowing.
Yeah, and it's really important that they actually do spread out in school, so that when you get to university, as we said, that we rowed with each other. So you get that rivalry from way back all of a sudden coming into that camaraderie in the same boat.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Great stuff.
Right. So we are. Sorry, just the screen just glitching a bit.
It looks to be like it's a one-horse race, this race. We can't see who's actually ahead, but it looks to be quite far ahead.
And so I'm assuming they're now quite far in, and just looking at the names on the sheet.
And we're back.
Very good.
Awesome.
So we got South Africa just coming into the last 250.
Wow, that is a huge.
That's a big lead. It's about 180 meters.
That is a great split. 146 at about rate 25, which is quite low actually.
Yeah,
it's a really low rate to be.
She must be a very strong, very big girl.
She must be very, very strong to be holding a split like that at such a rate. And you can clearly see that she's opened up a wide gap between her and second place. A wider gap between second and third place.
Yeah, it looks like the Umtata high school girl is out ahead.
That's great stuff, because Umtata is also one of the up-and-coming schools, so it's really great to see an athlete like her coming through the ranks. Also looks like it's quite a hotly contested fight between 6th and 3rd place. There's 4 crews quite close together. Looks like a very hotly contested race.
Right in second there is a Tunisian.
Really open the gap between her and the South African in 3rd place.
And Alicia Potgieter, then Sky Tucker, Sarah Henley, and Jessica Otto.
All really close within each other. Anything can happen these last couple meters. We can never count anyone out, as we said before.
Yeah, and that's a very fast time there from that Umtata High School lady breaking 7,
which is wow.
That is a huge time, so very well done to her.
She gives the junior under 19 men a run.
Yeah, Tunisian.
Looks like there's a battle between 4th and 3rd. Looks like it's quite hardly contested.
And Immen's coming close down the last 30 meters from the Tunisian team. Behind her is Alicia Potgieter.
Still holding the lead against.
Sky Tucker is coming back at Alicia. There's about 10 meters left in that.
What an exciting race.
It's coming down to the wire. It looks like Sky is going to come through just at the end if she just keeps it up. There's about a 5 split difference there.
It looks really, really close. It will go down to her. But I think Alicia has enough lead to actually hold all the way through.
Yeah, Sky's going to run out of the water again.
It's getting really close. Really, really close. And 3rd is Alicia and 4th place Sky Tucker. Great racing from those 2 athletes. Really well done to those 2.
Sarah Henley, Jessica Otto, both St Andrews girls, coming in there at 5th and 6th place.
And in 7th place we have a South African.
From St Stithians coming in at 7th place.
Congratulations to her, well done.
Now rating 36 at the end. That is really bringing it up and giving it all.
And the Tunisian coming in 8th place there. The second Tunisian in this race, obviously the first Tunisian coming in 2nd place, so congratulations to her.
Followed by Uganda, and then another South African St Andrews girl coming in last. And that is Melissa Poynton. She's actually the cox of the first cart. It's awesome to see her race. Yeah, so she's going to be finishing up now.
Great effort on her part.
Coming on the other screen now, the junior men. It's an exciting race as well. These men are really looking for all the competitive races that they can get at the moment.
I think they'll be competing quite hectic against the Umtata High School girl from the previous race.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what she comes in compared to the men now.
I'm sure they all don't know her time, but we'll be watching and waiting to see how this pans out.
So in this race, there's some South Africans, Tunisians, there's an Algerian, and the clubs.
I think we also have the Zimbabwean.
And the Zimbabwean. So there's 14 crews in this race, or there's meant to be. And coming from St Stithians Boys College, the Tunisia team, St Dunstan's, St Albans.
Umtata again as well.
Yeah, Umtata as well. If they've proven anything, we've got to watch them.
Yeah, from the previous race.
As well as there's a Cares boy and there's an Algerian team. And there's Peter House.
Peter House from Zimbabwe, yeah. Great to see them making an outing here to race against South Africans once again. Obviously due to COVID and this whole pandemic that's swept the world, We haven't been able to do a lot of on-the-water racing, so it's great to actually get to be able to race our fellow Africans.
So funny enough, the Cares boy in this race, Tristan Sarakis, is currently in grade 10 at King Edward School. The rowing bug bit at the end of primary school. He's passionate about rowing and enjoys playing rugby in the winter season. Yeah, you know the South Africans and their rugby as well. Yeah, it's an awesome sport.
Did you play rugby when you were in St. Stithians?
Oh, always, definitely.
What team did you play for? It's always a question to ask. Every boy in his
I played, you know, when I finished matric, I finished in the third team, and that was just absolute joy. We had the most amount of fun.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah, the Algerian man, Ayman, he's an Algerian single sculler.
So expecting big things from him. We'll have to see how this pans out. Algeria has been doing pretty well this virtual regatta.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's see how he pans out.
Very competitive. Right in attention and go.
We're off.
And we're off. Oh, just the rates out the block. I see some 50s, some 45s, absolutely cranking it. They're probably rowing about half slides or quarter slides just for that start.
Yeah, it looks like the Tunisian has taken an early lead. Quite a hectic lead for the first 100 meters. He seems to be going quite hard.
Yeah, following by the Zimbabwean from Peter House as well, which is awesome to see.
And an Algerian third place. A very diverse African first three.
Yeah, that is with South Africa nipping at the heels. That race for second can be between those like 7 boats.
That's an interesting thing about racing is that you never know who's going to be the victor from the start. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. As we can see, third and second place seem to be neck and neck. Seems like the Algerian has taken a quick and small lead against the Zimbabwean from Peter House, and seems to be pulling away a little bit, hoping to catch that Tunisian in first place.
Tunisian has a commanding lead now, coming through the 1600 meters.
Seems to be rating 36, holding a 135, which is blistering fast.
Yeah, that is very fast. He's aiming for a 630 or so. It looks like at the moment.
Even a sub 620, which is blistering for everyone here in South Africa. That's quite a quick time.
It is a very, 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 very fast time.
The battle for second and third seems to be quite hotly contested, as fourth place is right on the heels, nipping away.
Yeah, so that the race for second is turning into a 3-boat race. Now that the race is just getting into its stride.
Seems to be a St. Stithians boy there, racing for that second position.
Yeah, this Saints boys, eh? So we are. It is that second place is coming through. He's trying to just hold it. He's trying to consolidate his lead. That's Percy from Zimbabwe.
Seems to be rating quite low, I would say. But under 30 is quite a low rate to be having.
Yeah, but you know, look at the bottom. You know, half of there, they're rating 26, 27, 29.
What is your opinion about a rate like that?
You need to be rating about 30, 32, especially in the junior and the mid-19s. Especially on the erg as well. On the water, in an 8, you know, you should be aiming for 32, 34 without a doubt. And cranking it up 36 in that last 500.
And you can see the difference in the rate, as we can see the Tunisian rating 34, 35 and 36. And as you can see, his lead is just getting bigger and bigger. Would you say that's likened to the rates?
Definitely, but also the splits. I mean, you know, the Tunisians holding a 135, 136, with Percy from Zimbabwe holding a 140.
But the battle for the second still seems to be quite hot, as Aiden from South Africa, from St. Stithians, looks to be quite close onto third place, which looks to be quite close onto second place. With fifth place coming quite close to that as well. He seems to be joining the pack. It'll be exciting racing for between fifth and second place, I would say.
No, so Vuyo there and Aiden are both from Saints, so they're probably doing this together in their erg room or their gym.
Then we can see Aiden now taking third place over the Algerian. Really hot on the heels of second place, seems to be closing the gap. Looks to be 3 boats almost neck and neck. Really exciting stuff with fifth place joining that pack of 4.
Yeah, with Neil Botha there as well from St. Albans.
Still looks to be a one-horse race with the Tunisian in the lead. He seems to be holding his splits, holding it really consistent around the 34 rating 135, 136.
Yeah, through the 750 as well, so he's well into the third five. Just keeping that very consistent. I'm very excited to see what he's going to do in this last 500.
I think he's going to break 620.
Yeah,
With
he is
like this.
cranky. He's looking very good for that.
That is great from him.
Now, and Aiden Urquhart just took second as well.
Hotly contested, but that's not to say that he's going to stay second forever, because it's quite close between him, Zimbabwean, and Algerian.
Yeah, that is
anything can happen this last
a proper race for second there. Yes, if I was the coach, I think I'd just be screaming at him to tell him to hold it as much as he could.
It's always quite difficult when you neck and neck with another athlete, especially on the water, because you start to tense up and you start to want to really go. But I think it's quite mandatory to keep your relaxation, keep your form.
That's where training comes in completely. Hey, doing those competitive pieces against each other.
Yeah.
Throughout the season to put pressure on each other, try and make someone make a mistake so you don't make it in racing. Yeah.
That's what competitive pieces are for, is to kind of get that racing mentality, solidified before the actual race. Looks to be like there is a slight gap between second and third, a slight gap between third and fourth. Seems like everyone seems to be solidifying their positions.
There's about a 10-meter gap between all of those crews. With 250 to go, junior men's under 19s, they could just absolutely shorten up that stroke and use their biceps and just yank it in.
I think we can see that maybe from the Tunisian. Obviously, you can't see his actual rank, but he's sitting at weight 41 now.
He's at 42 now, sitting at holding a 133, 134. He is absolutely going for it.
He must be burning. His muscles must be burning.
That lactic acid is screaming at him to stop.
Screaming at him to stop, but he has to hold on, fight through that pain, and finish the race in first place.
That finish line is coming up very quickly now. Just past at the 6:10 mark. He's just going to break 6:20. What a row from him. That is awesome.
Rating 46, holding a 132. He is really gunning for that line.
That's a 6:18 from the Tunisian.
That
absolutely well done.
Can you imagine running that time, Bryce?
Yeah, could never. Well done, Ben. That's awesome.
Great stuff to you. Well done. It looks like the South African from St. solidifying his place in second, but not to say that he's going to finish there, because third place looks right hot on his heels. The Algerian, split-wise, looks to be slightly ahead of Aiden.
Well, it looks like they might just take it at the end there from Aiden.
Will he run out of water?
Oh, it is getting very close. It's about 5 meters in it right now.
And the South African solidifies.
That is a 0.3 split difference between them.
That is so close.
Not even in the same country. That is how competitive it is right now.
This is some great racing from these young men. Great racing.
That is absolutely awesome to see. So, just finishing up there, Neil Botha from St. Albans, and bringing it into the last little bit, and Tristan, who, remember, he is a grade 10, so he's under 16 actually.
Yeah, wow. Competing against older boys, I'm sure he will value this experience quite heavily.
Yeah.
It'll affect him quite positively when he actually gets to racing on the water, when this pandemic does slow down.
Dylan Jardine, with 100 meters to go. His dad actually raced earlier today in the Masters 50 to 54.
And we are back.
Yeah, back at the Para-Women's, Para-Women Oaks. Both crews come from Tanzania.
Yeah.
They're coming through the 1,700 meters right now.
Alright, so we got a nice Tunisia team into competition here. Very close, 4 meters between the two, and what? First set of 300 meters.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Looks like they're moving nicely. Yeah, so Para's have a tough time because they don't get to use their legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So biggest part of the drive is gone. They use the backs and the arms.
Yeah. Yeah. Must be quite tough. What are the average splits there for that? 240,
244, 250.
Okay.
Yeah.
So projected time for Paralympic. What would be a good time, you'd say?
I have no idea. I haven't had the opportunity to row with them or have spent much time with Paralympic rowers. So I couldn't tell you, I don't know, lie to the audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, well we got both quite consistent there. Rating 20, nice and comfortable with the first one there, Ben. And about 18, 10, 20 meters behind, rate of 27, we have got Uzayen from Tunisia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
Coming up to the 1K. It's been a lovely day of rowing today. This is race number 35 out of 51. Good for African rowing, good to see all these competitors, all these countries taking part.
Yeah, there's been some really, really fast times today.
You can see some...
A couple of people, looks like they've pulled personal bests, which is always good to see.
Oh, we got a good few from our side. Good. This is good to see from this rain. I'm liking it. Tunisians have come to the party. South Africa has come next race under this. We got the under-19 women's. I think the third heat. Third and final, if I'm not mistaken. It has also been very competitive there.
Very, very tight racing there.
Right, so, the concept 2. The Ergo is the world standard in indoor rowing machines. They are standard used by national teams for training and testing, the concept 2. And they are very reliable and consistent, and that is why they are the machine used for this event.
Looks like there's some connective issue with one of the rowers. Erg seems to have stopped, so yeah, maybe it could just be a connection issue. Yeah, right, here it comes back. Yeah,
we're back.
Alright. Currently, Ben is leading by about 20 meters.
Currently
Still keeping the same
1200.
same rate, same splits.
Very consistent rowing, good stuff to see.
Yeah.
Do we have a South African Paralympic rowing team?
As far as I know, we have one male scholar and then one female scholar. They train, they train pretty much every day.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Not taking part here for some reason.
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
Yeah, just not in this race. I think they raced a bit earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to have them all in the same heat.
Yeah, it would have been.
Alright, coming back to the halfway mark. Very exciting. Rating 22 for Ben. Very comfortable, very, very comfortable rate. But I think she knows that she's 20 meters ahead. So that's when you have that psychological advantage. You know, you can kind of play with your splits. You can
take it down, just stay as far forward as you feel comfortable.
But I feel like this is also with these Ergo races, it's not like, I want to come first and everything, but a lot of it's, you want to improve on the time that you had. So even if you see that you're so far ahead of another rower, you still want to get the best time that you want to get, obviously.
Yeah. Maybe he just feels a bit more comfortable with the lower rates. Seems to be working very well for him.
Very well. And passing the halfway mark now.
Yeah.
Alright, and the junior women's coming up next. The last junior women's heat of the day. Got Caitlin Stroud from St Andrews School for Girls, Chloe from St Dunstan's representing Benoni, Jade Potgieter also from St Andrews, another girl from Mthatha, Leila. I can't see here, Abdelaziz from Tunisia as well, Lynn from St Mary's, as well as Makhlatsi, and Natalie from St Andrews, Stacey from Peterhouse, Katie from St Stithian Schools, and Sibulelo from Mthatha High School. Good to see a lot of Eastern Cape also taking part in this.
Yeah, I think the more numbers the better. I think if there was like a handful of people today would have been a bit of a wait.
Yeah.
Unfortunately we have over 500 competitors, which makes today very interesting.
It looks like we may have
could be another connection issue. Yeah, let's see what happens, see if he comes back.
Alright, entering 1:51, taking it easy,
Yeah.
very comfortable, was very happy with who you are.
Yeah, split seems to be staying consistent. Although as the race goes past, obviously it gets a bit harder to maintain your starting out splits.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing with us, consistency, especially with the ergo.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard when you have those low splits, let's say 150, and then all of a sudden if you jump from there to 210, it's very hard to keep it back to those splits that you need to keep. Whereas if you just hold on to those splits consistently, although it's still tough, I think it's a lot easier than when you jump in around from high to low, high to low.
Yeah.
So yeah, big thing for the ergos, yeah.
Yeah. It's also much better to like pace yourself out. You go away to hold, you're flying down, which is.
It's not like you're in on the water. Like for the ergo, every stroke you can see, okay, that was a soft stroke. Whereas on the water, you know, you can kind of get away with a few things, or you know, the more technique or the more power to weight you have on the water, the more advantage you have. Whereas here, straight watts, straight legs, will generally win you the races. It looks like Buzayen has either lost connectivity or is out of the race, but Ben is still going strong,
Just
entering
past the 600 meters.
the last 600.
Yeah. Still maintaining same splits, same stroke rates.
Very consistent. That's what you like to see.
Yeah. As we know, consistency is the secret to most things.
It looks like we're also following the schedule. Looking good.
Yeah. It's not like we can fall behind. There's no way to line up. Yeah. Right. Ben is 500 meters left. It's about 2.5 minutes left to the race. Maybe a bit longer. But yeah. Doesn't seem like the Buzayen has come back.
No, I think it's either connectivity issues. That must also be a tough thing here with other schools and countries competing overseas or in other countries of Africa, because you know connectivity is quite tough. Obviously, yeah, we got the Wi-Fi right here, so you know, it's easy for.
Yeah, it's very easy for us, but
we can never tell if it's someone who's lost connectivity or if they just didn't come, or, you know. So yeah.
Suppose it stays tough.
Last 400 meters to go. Dropping the rate now down to 19. Very comfortable, but still split staying the same.
Yeah, as you can see, he's getting a bit tired, but
taking it easy towards the end.
That's expected, especially in the last couple of 100 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lovely day of rowing. Lovely, lovely Saturday it has been here at St Andrew's School for Girls.
Yeah, a bit overcast, but that doesn't make a difference.
It's alright.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
We don't have to worry about sunblock today. He's picked the rates up to 24.
Oh yeah, okay. So we are doing a little go for home towards the end. 25.
Yeah, he's dropped his splits back down to 250. Yeah, so he's going for a very good sprint at the end.
I wish we could have their personal best times to see how they did in relation to their last.
Yeah, that would actually be some very good information to see. Yeah, so we've got 50 races for today. We've won race 34. So we've got how many left?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Oh, no time left there.
Yeah.
It's gone quite quickly today.
Yeah, it has very quickly. Yeah.
Alright, last 200 meters to go. Rate in 22. 10 minutes on the cards. It's looking good. Ben is absolutely crushing it, keeping it consistent. That's the way to go. That's what we like to see.
That's definitely what we like to see. There is 100 meters left. Oh, sorry, the screen's a bit far. 150, you're right.
Okay, I wonder what happened to the other.
Looks like it's just a connection issue because his time's gone as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's unfortunate to see. Would have been nice to see how the race would have progressed. But I'm sure wherever he is, he's crushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she is.
Yeah, not bad. Rate 25.
And taking it the last 100 meters, coming up to the 50 now. And ending it off.
Just got through the 50 meters. It looks like the under 19 women are warming up right now. The race is going to start momentarily.
A few minutes.
Yeah.
Alright, and coming up with a time of 11 minutes.
11 minutes, 13 seconds. Seems to be a DNF registered here.
Well done to Ben. You've rode a very good race, nice and consistent. Excellent. To Buzayen, I hope everything went alright.
Yeah.
And And well done to the two competitors from Tunisia who have absolutely been crushing it today.
Yeah, it's really, really good to see some international times.
Yes.
I think we get stuck in with our own rowing, see how we do.
Yeah,
Very
it's
nice
been good to see the African rowing go like this, yeah.
Yeah, like we said earlier, there's been some very, very fast times from the other African countries. We saw 6:12 earlier.
And I think it's important, there should be more of these because you don't see much of African rowing, you know,
Yeah, really, really cool to see.
in terms of the international scene.
Yeah.
Alright, coming up next we have the under-19 women's juniors. 2000 meter race 35. We have one Zimbabwean, Stacey Dunstan from Peterhouse School, one girl, Abdelaziz from Tunisia. I hope I pronounced that right, sorry if I did not. And it looks like we have the rest all from South Africa. Leila Dulani from Umtata High School, again representing Eastern Cape. Lynn Swingler from St. Mary's, Chloe Cresswell from St. Dunstan's, Benoni. Jade Popkita representing St. Andrews, Mkhlati Chocho from St. Mary's, Natalie Langman, St. Andrews, Stacey Dunstan from St. Stithians, and Katie Kaus from St. Stithians as well. And finishing off, Caitlin Stroud from St. Andrews School for Girls as well. And Malaika Sabanda from St. Stithians, and Sibulele Mayakiso from Umtata. And it looks like it's about to get underway.
Yeah, just getting all the girls to stop warming up. Yeah, everyone a fair start to the race.
You can feel the excitement and hear the excitement up at the rowing, the ergo room here at St. Andrews.
Yeah.
And the under-19 women, it's about to get underway.
Yeah.
Very exciting, last, third and final heat by the looks of it.
Yeah, this race has got some strong rivalries between St. Mary's, St. Andrews and St. Stithians. So it'll be very interesting to see how those girls do from their respective schools.
And we obviously got Benoni and Tata ready to show some flames as well. And they are off.
Yeah.
I think now they're off.
Definitely off now. Very, very good start from the Tanzanian.
Yes, very quick start there.
Yes. Okay.
From Abdelaziz, very quick start.
Lots
and
of people rating above 40.
Very good to see, first 100.
First 100.
And Abdelaziz from Tunisia has taken the lead very early and a very powerful start.
Very
convincing. At a
holding
rate of
145s. Yo, that was very, very quick.
Alright, coming in second, Lynn Swingler with a rate of 33, 158. 20 meters behind first place already.
20 meters in the first 100 meters. Very, very quick.
Abdelaziz is not here to play games, ladies and gentlemen. She's here to win this race.
Clearly here to prove herself and get a chance to take part in the World Indoor Regatta Championships next year in February.
Yes, it's very close between the rest of the pack. Yeah, so like Vince was saying, athletes who finish in the top positions for these events here in the Virtual Regatta qualify for the World Rowing Indoor Championships in February. Very exciting. Alright. Jade Potgieter coming in second place for St. Andrews, following closely by Caitlin Stroud. They're actually neck and neck there.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a bit of...
Sure. Look at the difference between first and second there. 148 in splits compared to 2.
Caitlin Stroud has taken Jade Potgieter, both from St. Andrews.
Alright, St. Andrews second and third. Tunisia in first place, widening that gap ever so much.
Yeah.
Oh,
almost 50 meters
this is
within the first 500 meters.
Unbelievable scenes that we are seeing here.
Yeah. Rate staying consistent, some of the packs slacking off at the rate a bit.
Abdelaziz, as a St. Andrews teacher, just, you can slow down just a little bit.
Yeah, let's get the rest of us a chance to catch up.
But this is powerful rowing from the Tunisian in first place. Rating 31, 148 splits. That is unbelievable coming into the 1K now. Sure.
Just to put into perspective, second place is rating 27, holding a 202. So more than 13 splits difference.
I feel as if the Tunisians are definitely prepared somewhat for this ergo regatta.
Yeah,
The rate is always consistent, the splits are consistent.
Very, very fit, very, very strong.
Sure, okay, Caitlin Stroud just dropping to third place, Leila taking over, I think it is Leila, am I correct?
Leila.
Yep.
From Umtata.
From Umtata, representing the Eastern Cape there.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Okay, Sibulele, I think from Saints if I'm not, no, Umtata as well, also coming up and competing with Leila, her rival, or friend, sorry. So the two Umtata competitors neck and neck in second place and third.
Yeah, it looks like there's a meter between the two of them.
Very exciting race between those two.
They could be friends usually, but now they're rivals.
Yes.
Now they're really fighting.
But still, an absolutely astounding lead by Abdelaziz from Tunisia.
Yep, just walking away from the rest of the pack there.
149, still at 1,200 meters. Excellent form.
Yeah, just progressed the lead up to 75 meters.
Listen,
Yep.
I think like she'd be able to fill in any first date at this stage if she carries on with this.
Any men's first
Yeah,
aid.
man, that's what I mean.
She could literally just walk into any
Yeah.
actions.
I'd love to see the end time of this. I'm very excited to see.
Yeah.
Alright, so we had a bit of a change in position there in 4th and 5th. Stacey with Chloe. Caitlin Strader's dropped a bit. With Jade Potgieter, they were in 2nd and 3rd, now dropping off to 6th and 7th by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks like it's right. Looks like there's a couple of people who didn't manage to start.
Almost 100-meter gap now between 1st and 2nd. 20 meters left to go. And they're just passing Abdelaziz is just passing the 1K mark now.
Yeah.
With a convincing 150 split.
Yeah, 149, 150, they're staying there. Looks like she might be going for a record.
What is the record for junior?
I think it is 6:45.
6:45. And with these current splits of 149, what would she be getting?
Should be getting very, very close to that.
Yeah, it's exciting to see. Alright, so Leila and Sebalelo still neck and neck fighting off each other for that 2nd and 3rd place. Very exciting to see for the 2 girls from Umtata. Lovely to see the SNK representing. Stacey Dunstan from Peterhouse in Zimbabwe also represented. So it's good to see.
Yeah, looks like that healthy rivalry that I was talking about isn't shaping up to lead the race.
Exactly.
And Tata has definitely stepped up, so has Tanzania.
Alright, let's hopefully see a bit of a change in splits and rate here. The last 750 to go. This is often when you see a bit of tactics change.
Yeah. What was your tactic in the 3rd 500?
Survive.
Survive.
Yeah, carry on, keep my splits consistent. Like I said before, like when you change from going, for example, 145 or 140 to 2 and try and bring from 2 back down to 140 is so tiring. So just to keep as consistent as you can, keep tapping it away.
Yeah.
When you see your splits drop, sometimes, as we've now saw my splits going higher, I would have to try and up my rates a bit to tap it away and try and get those splits down. So yeah, this 3rd 500 I think is definitely
That's definitely the imaginary wall that
separates the
every
women
single
from the girls.
athlete- Yeah, all the athletes know about that 3rd 500. A lot of people actually do a burst into it to prevent themselves from sloughing off too much.
Oh, is that what you would consider doing? A little burst?
Yeah, either a little burst or about 10 strokes, just focusing on breathing, keeping the oxygen in your body, give you more of a chance to attack the last 500.
But it looks like Abdelaziz is doing just that. 103 meters ahead, just past the 500 meter mark, still holding the splits at 148, keeping a consistent rate of 31.
Yeah, we've had another position change.
Excellent rate from Tunisia. Oh, Leila taking over her friend, Sebalelo.
2nd and 3rd, dicing it out, one going ahead of the other every stroke.
This is the Inter-Umtata Championship going on here.
Yeah.
It's very exciting to
Very,
see
very
these 2
exciting.
girls. Very competitive, that's awesome.
Yeah, less than a meter between the 2 of them. It could come down to photo finish.
It's giving me anxiety just looking at this. Okay, so last 250 meters to go for Abdelaziz.
Yeah.
Still very consistent. I'm expecting to see the rate pick up a bit here and splits drop in. Hopefully she can get that time that she's looking for, maybe a PB.
Yeah, definitely looks like the rate's come up to about a 32. Still maintaining that 145 split, or 149 split, sorry. I think at this point it's just important to survive and not die before you finish. Looks like Leila's walking away from her friend Sibuselo. It's about 5 meters. Looks like she found her footing.
Alright. Abdelaziz taking those splits down to 147, keeping that rate a bit same at 32. From second. Again, absolutely crushing it. At the same time, the men's 30s have light men's 30s have just gone underway.
Yeah, they've actually combined these races, lightweight and the red boats are heavyweights.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, the 2 girls from Umtata now finishing off the race.
Yeah, there we go. First place 7:13, 2nd place 7:52.
Excellent racing from the girls from Umtata as well.
7:55 for 3rd place, 8:02 for 4th.
Now,
Heavyweights, how it's done.
okay, so for those watching at home, we've just exited the women's under 19s, and now we're switching to the men's 30s, lightweight and heavy,
Yeah, this race is a lot closer.
ahead of a lightweight.
Maybe about 3 or 4 splits per
And
500.
second in terms of total time.
I've got no idea, maybe about 10 seconds,
Okay.
depending. There's some very, very fast lightweight men, as we can see here.
Yeah.
He's Mark is holding a 136, rating 29. I think that rate's a bit low, but he's keeping the power very, very strong.
Pretty sure it's not his first rodeo. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. All these men have been racing for a very long time by the looks of things.
Yeah, so we've got in this Masters lightweight men, we have got an Ahmed Eman, who started rowing since 2006 and won several nationals and also participated in the WC2 in Eton in England back in 2013. So that's an excellent. Mark Mulder used to row for the Marine Boaties. Surfboat rowing is the future of rowing in SA, according to Mark Mulder.
Yeah, well, he might be onto something because he is walking away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, well, if you first, I guess you could say things like that, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
And then we have Dylan Mansell with the representing Old Dunstonian Rowing Club. If I rowed as much as I drank, I may be a bit faster. You preach into the choir, Dylan Mansell. We feel you here. We are two road students. I mean, no, just one.
Varsity students.
Varsity students.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got some banter here. We've got some guys who can row, but they are affected by the drink.
Yeah.
All right. Who is that though? Dylan Mansell, how is he doing? Oh, it didn't seem like he joined.
No, he's there in 4th place.
Okay, so not too bad.
Yeah. 4th place in terms of the lightweights. In this current race though, he is sitting in 7th.
Okay, so passing the 1K now.
Yeah.
Mark holding a strong 140, rating 28, very comfortable. Just behind him, 29, 140 as well.
Not very
Tunisian.
often. Not very often that we see lightweight men being outrated by heavyweight men.
This is true, but we've got, who's that also from Tunisia, the lightweight men, Ahmed, coming in with the rate of 34, very close to 2nd place there.
Yeah, very close.
He's just giving the heavyweights a run for their money over
Yeah.
there.
Looks like they've approached the third 500, that brutal wall we were talking about.
Also, Egypt's Ahmed, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
is also closely behind the Tunisian rower.
Yeah,
So, very tight.
yeah. It's very nice to see some tight racing.
So again, the threshold in terms of weight for lightweight men is 70.
I think it's 72 and a half.
Or 72. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so heavyweight you can just go.
Yeah, there's no weight limit.
There's no weight limit.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So if you're weighing 110, you feel like you can crank an erg,
Yeah.
heavyweight wins the way to go.
So I guess they definitely have the advantage in terms of this race then.
Definitely.
But then, with the power to weight, the Tunisian is definitely showing flames.
Yeah. Mark Mulder still in the lead, holding 142s, rating 30. Yeah, 2nd place from Tunisia. My bad. Tunisia. Stumbled over my tongue there. It's about 50 meters behind. 3rd place, Tunisian rower. Yeah, also 35, rating 35, holding 142s, absolutely killing it. Looks like we're gonna have another fast heat.
And Ahmed Eman, the
Egyptian.
yes,
Yes.
participated in Eton, is also okay. 30 meters behind. All right.
Yeah, looks like this is a very tight race. We're approaching the well, we're in the last.
Last 500 to go. Mark Mulder holding a strong rate of 30, 142 splits, about 30-40 meters ahead of 2nd place there, the Tunisian, and
Yeah, very convincing. You're approaching the last 250. This is where.
okay, now we can see Mutter Abdullah from Tunisia. I can see the splits going down to 135. Now he's looking for a comeback, going for home, bringing those meters down from 30, 28, 25. Mark's going to have to pick up that rate a bit and drop those splits in order to hold. I think the Tunisian can come back with a very powerful go for home if he keeps the splits. Oh, but Mark has responded. 137 in terms of splits. He's not going to let this race give up easily. He wants to prove that surfboat rowing is indeed the future of rowing in South Africa. So, holding at 136, he's definitely going to keep the lead if he keeps up that. You can definitely see the splits from the Tunisian. The Tunisian giving it all, but I think too little too late towards the end,
Yeah, rating 40.
Yeah.
Very high, is trying everything he can.
But Mark comes in with a total time of 6:30.9.
It's very
That's
quick.
a very good time with a 6:36 for the Tunisian, also excellent. And we have a lightweight men's, also Tunisian coming in 3rd place with a time of 6:46. Excellent row from the lightweight there.
Heavyweight men.
And then another lightweight, Egyptian coming in second, 6:42. Ahmed, well done.
Very, very good times. Just waiting for the rest of the pack to finish now, and then we'll start with junior men's under 14s.
Alright, so junior men's under 14. I think is this the first under 14 event?
I couldn't tell you.
I could be wrong.
Yeah,
We have been up and down.
yeah.
Right, 2 p.m. It looks like everything is right back on track. Race 37, junior men's under 14.
Yeah, it looks like, there we go. Just waiting for the last 2 or 3 people to finish the line.
And we have them
Yeah.
done and dusted. Well done to the men's lightweight and the men's heavyweight crews. Good times there.
Yeah, this is probably one of the toughest things you could do, 2KO trials.
No, especially at this age. I mean, like, yeah,
Yeah,
did it in school because I was kind of forced. But now, you know, I don't know.
yeah.
But what a lovely sport. All right.
Junior
Junior
men's
men's.
under 16s. Miles Lawburn pulled a 6:46.
4 from South Africa.
Very, very good. Darius Habib, 6:50, second place. And in third place, we have a 6:51. Very,
Clark.
very good. Clark.
Yeah, Cloud, I remember watching that race. I think he came first in his heat, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, very good to see. Very, very fast times.
All right, so Tunisians again representing South African. We are lucky enough to take the gold here. But well done to all those rowers. All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Junior men's under 14s.
we now have the junior men's under 14s. Do we have any?
Yeah, we've got no information for them.
We have a Gavin Lynn, who's an 8th grade student from New England area. And I don't know where that is from. However, they're about to get started.
Yeah. What would you say a fast time for under 14 rowers?
Oh.
Here we go.
Definitely under 4, I'd say.
Definitely under 4.
Hey, for junior men's under 14.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that one.
It's a long time ago now. Last time when I was under 14 was 2008.
Definitely feeling the age today.
Definitely. All right, so what do we got going? Again, the Tunisians with a great start there. Coming
Very,
in
very
first
fast
place,
start.
followed closely by Warwick.
Yup.
But it looks like Adrian Kruger is now coming up, yes, in first place from South Africa. Followed closely again by Ben in Tunisia and Youssef in Tunisia.
Yeah, this is a very tight race again. Although we are 200 meters into the race, first and second seem to be going one ahead of each other. Very, very tight race. If they could keep this up, we could go down to a photo finish again.
Definitely. But you can see also Tunisians, they have definitely got the rate game going. Always keeping it consistent from 32, 34. I don't often see them drop below 30. Whereas often what I'm seeing with some of the schools here, we definitely, like for example in second place here, Adrian Kruger rating, okay 30 now, but 27 over there, compared to the difference with the Tunisians who keep that comfortable 32, 34 rates and therefore keep their splits consistent. I feel like you've got to pull a lot more harder when you're rowing slow, much slower, you know?
Yeah, definitely have a lot more resistance to pick up.
Exactly, whereas if you keep tapping it away, it's
Yeah.
more like you working on that momentum, tapping away that wheel on a bicycle.
So first and third are both Tunisian rowers. Third place, Youssef, sitting just over 20 meters behind first place.
Again, I look at number 1, 34, consistent,
Yeah,
now
consistent 148.
to the 500 meters, and that's how it's done. 148, keep it there, consistency is key with these ergos.
Yeah,
On the water you can get away with it, I think.
maybe
You
a
know,
little bit,
a little
but not
bit.
too much. 20 meters, no sign of slowing down. He's rating 38 now. Very, very fast. But yeah.
And Adrian Kruger, also from Mthatha High School. Eastern Cape and Tunisia, literally every time I watch them, they are representing today. So great stuff to see.
Looks like there's been a position change. Warwick has come up into third place.
All right, Warwick representing St Albans College
Yeah, there we go.
has just taken over Youssef from Tunisia. We still have Tunisian Ben, first place, 37 now up in the rate, keeping the splits the same.
Yeah.
Last 200 meters left to go. Wow, that rate
Back up
is
to
48.
48. Wow. Ben clearly is here to make a name for himself. He's putting everything on the line.
He's got the splits down. 43.
Yo,
I would have a heart attack.
I would literally have a heart attack, yes.
I mean, if you can go, you do it, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is clearly why he's training and
this is why I'm here. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Warwick's coming up to second place.
Yeah, Warwick
Alright.
Melbourne's really have a strong history of very, very fast people.
Very fast and very fast scullers
Very
as well.
dominant in the sculling side.
Alright, the Tunisian.
Ben seems to have lost connection.
I'm not worried.
Oh, let's see if we
Please
can.
don't let that be the case.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's see if
no.
he finishes.
What's gone on?
See if the connection can go back before he gets his.
Hopefully this is just connection issue, or this is absolute heartbreak hotel that I'm seeing here.
Yeah. It has gone white, so
It
it's
has the right, I'm
definitely
hoping
a
that's
connection
connectivity.
issue. Yeah.
Because that would have been a hell of a pop if that was, that's what it was. He
Yeah.
hit the wall then. But yeah.
Warwick, who was sitting in second place before the connective issue, has just finished with a 3:43,
Oh, very good
which
time.
is very, very fast. Adrian Kruger, 3:45, and then Yusuf from Tunisia has pulled a 3:56.
Shame, I wonder what happened there to Ben. I'm hoping that's a connectivity issue because we were looking for a very, very good projector time there.
Yeah, you would have finished at around 3:30s,
Yeah.
3:35 in that area, which is a good 10 seconds in front of Warwick, yes.
But excellent times for the junior men's
Yeah,
under
very
14s,
good.
I would say they're very good.
Ben has just reconnected, he pulled a 3:37.
Wow, Ben, okay.
Very, 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 very good.
3:37, well done to the Tunisian there. Absolutely crashed it.
As an under 14 rower, that's your first year rowing in high school?
I saw him rate 52 once, I think.
Yeah. I don't even think I can get that high.
Ben, how you stayed on your slide, I don't know. But congratulations to you, sir, because you have got the great title of having a 3:37.
Yeah.
Well done.
You are faster than a lot of under 15 men.
And also representing Tunisia again, who have
Yes.
crashed it today. I've probably said that about 20 times.
Yeah, but they really have. They've just
They
been
have.
outperforming, really, really surprising all of us.
It's good to see.
Yeah. There we come. Daniel in last place, just finished now.
Alright, Daniel Sherwin from St. Dunstan's College representing
Yeah.
Benoni. I used to live there. Almost Wednesday.
Yeah.
Alright, so the junior men's just finished. Well done to all the boys competing there.
Yeah. Here we have the junior woman under 14.
Alright.
I think this is
we are back. Just starting on the junior under 14 women's. It is said attention and go, and we are away. In this race, there's South Africans, Tunisians, Zimbabweans, all from their various clubs as well. So we've got Umtata, then we've got Peterhouse, CNMT from Tunisia as well, some Dunstans, and then ASN EPT from Tunisia. This should be an actual very good race. The South Africans especially have not raced on the water this season, so this is their first season and this is their first regatta ever. And what an exciting time it is, especially at a virtual regatta.
And right out of the blocks, it looks like Danielle from Zimbabwe has put a bit of distance on everyone else in the group, and she's coming out really, really strong. Rate really high, really looking strong through the start here.
Yeah, she's approaching at 700, so she's already 300 meters in, sitting at a 138, 140 now at rate 30. So she is a very strong girl.
Really good to see in junior women's under 14s that some girls are producing that these splits at these rates is almost unbelievable that she's actually producing these kind of splits. Really exciting to see.
Yeah. Danielle has said to us that her dream is to go to the Olympics.
Yeah, judging by this, she looks like she has a bright future ahead of her, and really excited to see what she can do here and show us what she's got. I'm sure she'll give it everything.
Yeah, just approaching the 500 now. So halfway through, it looks like she's going to cross the 500 meters at a 140. So she's on well track for about a 320 there.
Yo, that is serious effort being put in by there just for the first 500. As you can see, putting a lot of distance between her and the rest of the field, although the rest of the field quite tight, fighting for that second place. Could go either way. There's four competitors there looking like they could all clinch that silver medal. Really exciting racing going on here.
Yeah, that could just change in a heartbeat. It is a very sprint kind of racy set out right now. I mean, 1,000 meters is not very far. It's half the distance of what we've been watching all day. And it flies by if you actually think about it. It's like 3 or 4 minutes, and it's not very long. So Danielle's just crossing that 250 to go in 2 minutes and 35 seconds. So she is absolutely cranking it out. The splits have dropped a bit now. She's sitting at a 149. And that the place there, the Tunisians just taken over the South African there. So she is also absolutely cranking it, and I suspect we might see a bit more change there, right there. Wow.
And there we go.
The Tunisians are coming in second there, and third, and fourth, and fifth. They are wiping it. Yeah. Danielle has also said that she holds records on the concept too, which is awesome. That is very impressive.
Seems it explains quite a lot. She seems like a really competent rower at this stage in her rowing career, looking really strong and really dominant. Really exciting to see. She's finished there with a time of a 3:30 it looks like, which is really good for a junior woman under 14. Now we've got the rest of the field coming in, still really tight racing, chopping and changing, everyone gunning for that line.
Yeah, that is it's very close there to get that second place. There's not much in it. It looks like there's 1 or 2 meters in it. That is going to come down to the line.
And coming down to the line there, we have
Tunisia and Tunisia. Well, there's a 0.3 split difference there over the 1,000 meters, which is absolutely nail-biting racing.
Seriously good racing there. Good competition from these girls, giving it their all, and just going for it and leaving nothing out there. Really good to see.
Yeah, what is really awesome though is that with junior rowing is as they develop through into under 15, they improve even more. And then we make the big jump to 2,000 meter racing. So that is it's a lot to learn, especially in that short amount of time when we move to under 16 racing. But that's an awesome time from the winner there, Danielle. Just a little snippet there we saw earlier, the junior women under 19 winners' time was 6:55.
That is almost unbelievable. That is seriously fast over time. That.
Yeah. I mean, silver was 7:13, and even bronze behind that was 7:90.
That is some serious dominance by that young lady. Really cool to see that.
Yeah, I was going to need to step up that game. That is
She's
absolutely
going to be
good.
the one to chase down the rest of the season, it seems like, if that's anything to go on.
Yeah, so right after that, that is the last, proper race. We're moving into the 500-meter events now, so the sprint events. Coming through with our first event, the under-23 lightweight men 500-meter race. It looks like this is all a Northern African heat from Tunisia, Egypt, and there is only 4 people in the race. So yeah, there's the Tunisia team, there's ASL, then there's the Egypt team, and that is the 500-meter event, and that is a full-on just sprint, isn't it?
It should be quite exciting. Looking at some very competent men here. Lightweights should be able to move themselves quite fast and get that rate moving. Really going to be some fast racing here. It's going to be blink and you'll miss it kind of type racing. So really excited to see that.
I mean, I'm expecting them to be about a 1:30. Absolutely cranking it out because they're lightweights as well. So they're going to be sitting up there with 40 strokes a minute at least.
Just giving everything they got for those 1 minute and 30 seconds, and just to see what can come out on top. It's going to be very tight. Not much distance to put between you and everyone else, but enough distance to assert your dominance if you do it well enough.
Yeah, so they're warming up, getting ready, getting into that mindset. There's actually not really a race plan for 500 meters. It's just a full-on what you can do there.
Put your legs down and go as hard as you can for as long as you can, and just hang on.
Yeah, and it's absolutely just cranking it out. I mean, if you do pieces at university or at high school, 500 meters is not that long.
It's tough, but it's not long.
So they're probably just warming up there, trying to just get moving, get the legs going again. My opinion is always, 2 minutes to the start, just stop rowing, really try and get your focus in, and then let in all the blood, and you can have a bit of a stretch.
When you get to that start line or all ready to race, and not tired but warm, and in that mindset of ready to give everything and crush the competition. So let's hope that these lightweight men here can put on a show for us, which I'm sure they will do.
Right, there's the indication to stop rowing. So they're just going to let the fans slow down now completely, get to a halt, and then they're going to get more indications and more instructions on their ergs to what's next. It should be a very tight race. The Tunisians have actually been doing exceptionally well, teaching some of the South Africans, Algerians and Egyptians some lessons. It's very exciting. We should see what happens now.
The Tunisians coming through with some seriously dominant performances throughout the day. Really exciting to watch racing from all over Africa. Competitors from over 19 different countries, over 51 races. You'll see a lot of different winners, but one reoccurring theme is the Tunisians always up there, and the Egyptians and South Africans and Algerians all chopping and changing. So it's really cool to see the diversity up there in the standings. So really cool to see.
Yeah, and we're off. You can just see the rates right there. They're 52, 53, there's a 40, and the splits are all the way down there at a 122, 123 as well. So they have gone out ready to absolutely rip it and just crank it completely until the end. My best guess is these guys probably raced 2,000 meters earlier in the day and have come back to do a little 500-meter sprint.
So some tight racing as you expect, but even this early into the race we can see some small gaps starting to form, but tight racing at the front of the pack. I'm sure they'll be watching their screens carefully and pushing themselves and maybe trying to strategize, although there's not much strategy that can go into this. It's just pull as hard as you can and
rate as high as you can.
Basically,
I mean, you can see it there, rate 49, rate 50. that's 50 strokes a minute. It's almost a stroke a second. He's rating very, very high, and he's pulling a 127 right now. Dropped it down a bit from the 125. Obviously, the little sprint is getting to his legs now, and he's coming to the end, and 50 meters to go. He's still holding a 130, so he's going to finish this just under 130.
And now it looks like for second place we've got quite a tight race here. We'll have to wait. It's going to go down to the line. Oh, that is some really, really good racing there from...
That is super tight there between the Egyptian and the Tunisian for second place there. It's a 0.2 of a split difference.
What's the finish time there for the winner is a 1...
Was a 126.9.
That is quite a fast 500 there, especially for the lightweight men. Really giving it everything there.
Yeah, that was an absolute cracker race. These races are going to get more and more exciting as we go through, because up next is just the under 23 men. So these boys can be, much heavier than the normal 72 that a lightweight is. So they're going to be absolutely ready to crank it. We've got some Tunisians, some Ethiopians, South Africans, Algerians, and some Libyans. So we are excited. There's some boys there from the Tunisian team, the Libya team, UJ Rowing Club, so University of Johannesburg, the Egyptian team, and there's 20 boys in this event.
Sure. Stacked event this one. It's going to be some seriously exciting racing.
Yeah, there's some boys here from Djibouti. So that is, and a Kenyan. Oh, my bad, almost didn't see that. So that is awesome. That's going to be an absolute crack of a race, especially if they all race. That is 20 boats or 20 men in that. So that should be an exciting race to come. They will also be rating exceptionally high, and we are expecting them definitely to be under the 130 mark.
In this race we've got over 6 countries represented across these lanes here with all these different young men. Really cool to see from all over Africa, no matter where you are, coming together and racing each other. Although it be virtual, still really, really cool to have, and nothing would be possible without the technology that we have nowadays, and really cool to see.
Yeah, and so Cameron Bryce, I know he's an old Cares boy, and so are you. Did you have a row with him at any stage?
I did. I rode with the Cameron in my last year in First 8, and very competent oarsman he is, and I know he's been rowing with the UJ First 8 for, I think it's 2 years now, going into his 3rd year this year, although it wasn't much of a rowing season that they've had due to the global pandemic that we've all been experiencing. But very excited to see what he can produce. I'm sure everyone else in this event will be giving him a run for his money, but obviously I got to go for my friend here, and hopefully he pulls something out of the bag for us.
Yeah, that is an exceptional lineup, especially 6 countries that are and 6 clubs, that are all represented here across the lanes. So they are probably also just warming up, probably doing a few sprints in that warm up as well, get those legs moving, trying to see what it's like to hold a 125 split. To see how long I can hold it for in the race, trying to get those legs, trying to work them, get it used to it.
Nice and warm for the race, ready to go. I'm sure they're all going to be ready to crank it, like we saw with the previous race before this, the lightweight men's with a really fast 126 winning time. I'm sure we might possibly see closer to a 120 with the lightweight, with the normal under 23 men's. So very excited. Should be some fast racing here.
So it looks like there's about 5 minutes to go into the start of this race. We are definitely hoping that there's more people that will be logging onto it. There's only 11 boats right now. There should be 20 by what we have here. So that would be an awesome race. I think that would be the biggest race of the day. If I'm not mistaken, I think we haven't had that much.
Like it.
I think we've had some 15, maybe even 16 lane races, but not a 20 lane race.
What's really cool about these online virtual regattas are usually when you're racing on a dam or a lake or wherever it is on the course, you only have 8 or 9 lanes that you can stack boats in. So you're really only racing against 7 other competitors, whereas now you got 19 other boys to worry about and really looking all over and lots of competitiveness. So really should be a lot of boys giving each other a run for their money and hopefully pushing each other even faster. So hopefully we'll see some seriously quick times.
Yeah, there's been 550 competitors entered in this regatta, and from 19 countries. Okay, and we are on race 40, so we only have 11 races left, ladies and gents. So it has been an exceptional day of racing. There's been some absolute cracking times from the lightweight men. I think I saw a 6:12 earlier, and obviously the junior women's 6:55. It is absolutely astounding.
Some seriously quick times, like we keep saying, but it's almost unbelievable that some of the times we're seeing today is definitely an indication of how strong the rowing is coming out of South Africa and all over Africa. It's really encouraging to see that the coaching that's going in and the effort and the rowers and the equipment that's all put in is being put to good use by the athletes, and really I'm sure they will appreciate the hard work that everyone's putting in for them, especially over this time to get this race going. So hopefully we'll be off very soon.
I mean, as coaches, we always say, on the erg, you just kind of pull it as hard as you can. It doesn't quite matter about the technique, as long as you are pulling your hardest. But when we move on to the water, obviously there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we need to focus on.
Technique and, rowing in time with everyone else if you're rowing in a crew boat, and all these little things that don't necessarily play a role on the erg will affect your rowing on the water. So it's kind of two different sports, but the same sports at the same time. It's very cool that there's two aspects that make up a whole of a sport. So yeah, really cool.
It's like we say, the ergs don't float. They just don't. Although you can get a very, very, very strong man on the erg who will turn his scull into a very fast boat. But
could go the other way, where
it could go
have
the
someone
other way.
cranking a lot of watts, but they're unable to convert those watts into speed on the water, which is sometimes you do see that. Sometimes you're generally quite pleasantly surprised when someone jumps off the erg and jumps into a boat and is naturally able to move it very, very fast, which is always awesome to see.
Yeah, that is. We've seen it a few. I mean, Ricky and I coached the under 14s at St Andrews, and we see it, quite a bit. Especially, the under 14 women. We teach them how to go. So it is very important that we take what we see on the erg and we put it on the water.
Yeah.
And we do most of our basic training and basic teaching of technique on the erg, just so that they get the basics through.
So when they get on the water, they're able to know what they're doing competently in a boat, or to the point where we're actually able to fine-tune the small things that will maybe make a difference in a race or things like that. So yeah, like Bryce said, first on the erg we would generally try to teach the basic concept of rowing, and then when we hop into the boat it's more technique focused and really trying to get the most out of each and every stroke and each little movement that you have.
Yeah, I mean, it is. This will be our second season coaching under 14s together, so we are very looking forward to it if we can get on the water next year. And it looks like there's a few more people who have just logged on here. We've got up to 17 now, and that is absolutely amazing. It's just going to be such an awesome race. So it looks like we're about to start. We are just waiting for the instructions. Obviously, they'll all get their own instructions on the screens, and so that will be coming through very, very shortly. It is race 40, the 500 meters under 23 men.
It is our second 500 meter event of the day, and if the last race is anything to go by, this should be some very, very good racing with some very competitive individuals, a lot of competitive individuals, we should hope.
Yeah, I would not want to miss this one. This looks like it can be very competitive, and it will be over very quickly as well.
This looks like it could have the makings to be the race of the day, with possibly up to 20 competitors. That is almost unheard of in a rowing race. So very, very cool that we actually have the opportunity to host this event, and really looking forward to it.
Now I'm sure that they are, as you can see there's the screens, there's the junior men under 14,000 meter results. The Ben from Tunisia with a 337, the South African Warwick with a 343, and then Adrian Kruger there with a 345. Those are very quick times for junior men.
Very, very, especially under 14s who, like we said, haven't had much racing under their belt. Really encouraging to see. Hopefully moving up through the age groups, we'll see those boys start to develop and go through the ranks and really, really start to shine.
So they've got the instructions there. They are ready to go. Attention. We're about to start the under 23 men 500 meter go.
It looks like we have a false start. So
they're a bit excited there.
Well, I mean, you can't blame them. When you're racing 500 meters, you just can't wait to get going because the quicker you start, the quicker it's finished.
Yeah, that is. I could imagine. I mean, I'm keen to row, so that's wild. Funny enough, the coaches here at St Andrews were meant to do the 500 meter, but we unfortunately couldn't partake. We have some jobs to do. But yeah, that would have been absolutely great. And they get the instructions again to stop rowing, and we should be starting shortly. So this will be going shortly. If you look through it now, it looks like there's South Africans, Tunisians, Algerians,
Ethiopians,
yeah,
Kenyans.
ready, right, attention, and we're off.
Many, many boats on the screen, as you can see, all taking off.
We will try and get there. It looks like there's some rate 40s, 42s. There's a 50 there. There's a 47. Splits of about 124, 126. There's a 118 who's just taken the lead from Egypt.
Sure, that's
19 right now. Second place is rating 42 with a 121 split. Then we go down. There's a 126, 129, 127. They are absolutely cranking it. I think they must be rowing about half slides.
No, to get to that kind of rate, I think that you might have to sacrifice a little bit of length, but over such a short distance, in order to get those splits in that kind of rate, you need to sacrifice something, and length is unfortunately one of the things that you sacrifice, but you make up for it in speed.
Yeah, it looks like your friend Cameron Bryce, who you rode with, he's about 39 and he's holding a 135. So he's sitting there, it looks like he's about maybe 10th. It's hard to call from right now. It looks like the winner there with a 120.6.
Oh, so close to going sub 120. I'm sure he's very, very happy with that time.
Yeah, and they are just, it's a very, very quick event. If you blinked, you would have missed that. Yeah, so it looks like there from the top three, you get a 120.6, a 124.2, and a 125.8. Let's just have a scan through. We'll see if there any really, really close ones there. Yeah, there was a 127.1 and a 127.7. It looks like
Some very close racing there.
yeah. Cameron Bryce there finished with a 132.
It's a very respectable time. I know he's generally not maybe the biggest guy out there, but definitely rows well and does himself a lot of justice out there on the water and as well on the erg. Very fit individual, very, very strong man. That.
Yeah, so the Egyptian in first place, followed by the Algerians, followed by the Tunisians, the Ethiopian, and the South African. Zlanda Steyn wrapping it up there in 7th place. And then Cameron Bryce there in 8th. Sorry, my bad, 9th. Tunisians as well, 10th. Was an absolute blistering race.
An absolute cracker, you are definitely right. But don't go anywhere. Up next we have the
Junior men under 19.
Junior men under 19s, 500 meter as well. 12 entries in this next race, so should be also some very tight racing, a lot of races there. Should be quite cool.
Yeah, it looks like in this race there's 12 races, 12 boats, sorry. It looks like there's some Tunisians, South Africans, Libyans, and Egyptians. All from all over. The South Africans, there's some Dunstan's College and Umtata High School. Umtata have absolutely been crushing it this today. I mean,
definitely showed up with a point to prove, and they've definitely proved that point.
and it looks like, you know, there's a few of them here from St. Dunstan's. There's Libyan team, the Egyptian, and some should actually be another cracker race. So, in case you missed that race, it's still up on the screen. I mean, you can just look at those times. They are absolutely blistering quick, with a 1:20.6. It is very, very quick here. And if you missed it earlier, I mean, the under 14 men's sculls or event, was it 3:45, was it?
Somewhere around there, and that for, like we were saying earlier, their first time really racing a race, even although it's not on the water. Really exceptional performances, planning out their race, and you know, doing what they got to do, especially at that young age, is really admirable and really cool to see.
Yeah,
Especially
so up on the screen now, you see the under 23 lightweight women 2,000 meter race, with a 6:29.7, 6:35.1 in second place, and a 7:03 in bronze. Those are some seriously quick times under 23 lightweight men. And they could be very proud of that. That is very cool. It's a very, very fast time. They should be proud.
I think a lot of non-lightweights would be proud of that time if they were able to pull that on the erg. So I think they've done themselves very proud there, coming in with those very, very strong performances. Really cool to see.
I could imagine that those under 23 lightweight men must have been rating about 32, 34 the whole way down. Just trying to keep it tappy, keep it light, and all the way through.
Yeah, with a lot of these, especially the lightweights, it's very important for them to use their rate. We always tell our kids that rate is your friend when it's used properly. So it looks like they've definitely made use of their rate and their race plan. They've stuck to it and made sure that they've executed what they needed to do properly.
Absolutely. So we would definitely say an all-out sprint like a 500 meter, just give it your all. Just absolutely, you should be absolutely ripping it, rowing half slides, quarter slides, whatever you can get. You know, whatever speed you can get from that ergo.
Any kind of speed you can find, you need to find it and use it, because your competitors are going to try to find that speed and use it against you. So the quicker you can find that speed and get going, the quicker you can get in front and hold that lead, hopefully.
Yeah, I remember in school, you know, we used to do 500 meter pieces or 500 meter race, and some of the boys would end up with bruises across the upper here just from putting the handle in.
Yeah, it's a lot of speed and you're moving very quickly. So, like we said earlier, moving at half slides a lot of the time to try and, you know, keep that rate up and keep that wheel spinning at top speed throughout the 500 meters. You maybe end up bringing that handle in a little bit faster than you realize and almost bouncing it off your chest, if you will, straight back out, and, you know, trying to save as much time as possible and get back up that slide and onto the legs again as quick as possible throughout this 500 meters.
So in this race currently, there's only 4 men that have made it onto the screen. There should be 12, so we are missing a few. Maybe that 2,000 meter from earlier was a bit much.
No, I'm sure that we'll have them logging on now. Maybe they're just doing their final warm-up or final stretch or whatever it is, and
I'm sure there's connectivity issues as well.
yeah, we were experiencing technical difficulties earlier. We had a bit of a power failure, but thank goodness that that's through and we've sorted that out. So thanks to our technical team and everyone putting in the effort, we really appreciate it. But yeah, everything's running smoothly now, and hopefully we'll have the rest of the competitors joining us on the screen soon.
I mean, just looking at the screen now, we've got a South African, Tunisians, and an Egyptian. They look like they are ready to go. I mean, they're probably warming up, doing their last preparations between this little sprint, and just getting ready to absolutely crush it. So after the junior men under 19 event, we've got under 23 women, then lightweight men. I'm assuming that's open lightweight men, followed again by the open women, and then junior under 19 men again. So that is the next, 4 or 5 races coming up. I would not want to miss these. These are absolutely cracker races. If you don't get in now, you're going to miss them. I promise you that they are over blistering quick. I mean, the last race is at 1:20.
Yeah, and the athletes who finish in top positions today will automatically go through to the World Rowing Indoor Championships, where athletes will compete from across the world virtually. So it could be from their homes, from their gyms, wherever it is that they have access to an erg and internet connection. And that might also bring some different challenges for different athletes across the world, with athletes having to compete at different times of day, maybe some in the early mornings, late evenings. But I mean, I'm sure everyone who qualifies will be absolutely ecstatic to just compete in something as prestigious as a world championship event. So really, really cool that you could qualify yourself for that this afternoon.
Yeah, and that takes place in February next year. So they've got plenty of time to even improve even more between now and then. So they get an indication now to stop rowing. That's stopping their wheels from spinning so that they can get ready here.
And it looks like the rest of the field has joined in with us as we're about to start. So let's get ready for some good racing, hopefully.
Right, and we're off. It looks like there's been an absolute cracker start. I saw a 60 there, 60 strokes per minute. That's a stroke a second.
That is unbelievable. That serious stroke rate.
It looks like now, just looking at it now, it looks like the person in front is a 118, followed by a 120 with a 127, 130, 127 again, all rating up there in the 40s. So that is very, very quick. And as like before in the other race, it just changes so quickly as well. Almost halfway through already, approaching the 250. It looks like the South African is well ahead with the 120. He's got 7 meters of his second place, and then 30 meters back from that. So that is very, very exciting right now. Looks like the man from Tata High School is out in first place. 100 to go. And he will be holding it. I think I just have to absolutely shout at him to keep it going.
Really kept that lead, and just keep pushing it and pushing it.
And he finished there. His official time is a 122.3, followed by a 124.0.
And we still have some tight racing coming in here. Oh, just on the line.
Just
we have
on the
someone
line.
being pipped, which is really, really unfortunate for the man who got past, but really cool to see racing down to the wire.
That's a 0.2 between them. That is, and even back there's been a 0.2 between 4th and 5th, and then a 0.2 again between 5th and 6th.
Some really, really tight racing between athletes across the field. They're really cool to see. But really dominant performance there from the man from Tata High School. Really putting in a great effort there with a 122.3. Really, really quick.
Now, what a race, especially in the lower end as well. It's very cool to see the lower end racing get so tight.
Yeah,
it creates that depth and that excitement.
And you can never go wrong with too much depth. And if you got everyone in your squad competing for one seat, all within say 2 seconds of each other over 500, that's really, really good for performance, and that can only be a good thing driving performance up. So yeah, really cool to see the tight racing across the board, not just at the top.
Yeah, it looks like, so Dylan Jardine raced earlier. I remember that name, and his dad raced in a Masters event much earlier in the day. So that looks like a family of rowers that have come through here. As well as there's Kieran Hill from the bottom there, and he looks like he's done very well as well. He's from St Dunstan's. A race that we race up here, it's in South Africa we race in quite a lot. They've got both boys and girls sides of the club. So that is a very, very good club. It's a very cool club to watch as well.
Just going back to what you said about earlier about having Dylan Jardine, who had his dad racing earlier, that's really cool that you can have your parents and yourself racing, maybe all in the same room at home, cheering each other on through different races. Don't usually get to do that with your parents and siblings like that. So I think that's another cool aspect that's really been brought to the forefront by this virtual regatta. And I think a lot of people will be really, really, really cool and pleased to see that.
Yeah, I mean, that fitness must just run in their family.
Yeah, definitely looks like it, eh?
Up next is the under 23 women with 7 boats in this race. Looks like there's Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, Libya, South Africa, and Tunisia. So again, an action-packed race from well over 6 countries.
Yeah, it's been a recurring theme today. There's a lot of diversity in the races, not just dominated entries by South Africans. It's Moroccans, Algerians, Libyans, Egyptians, all over Africa is just entries flying in. It's really cool to see that the unity in this race is cool to see.
Yeah. So after the under 23 women is lightweight men. That's race 43. But up first is the under 23 women, and that should also be an absolute time. And it looks putting some predictions down. It's going to be maybe very, very close again. Maybe about a 1:30.
Yeah, definitely around there, but I definitely think it's going to be a tight race with a lot of chopping and changing throughout the course. Remember, it is only 500 meters, so we almost like to say it's a fly and die, and you just crank it as hard as you can until the end.
So it looks like what's coming up now, it looks like they've all been able to log in, so they are just warming up, probably doing a few little bursts as well, getting that blood pumping, getting ready, and it should be an absolute crack of a race again. I mean, these sprints are so exciting. I'm struggling just to sit down and watch them. And so they will be absolutely trying to crank this one. So, in the under 23 women that is coming up next, we've got the Morocco team, Algeria team, Egypt team, Libya team, UJ Rowing Club, and the Tunisian team. So it's a very, very broad, and I'm sure they're looking at each other's splits as well at the end of this.
Maybe sizing each other up, and I'm sure a lot of these athletes raced early in the day with over the 2,000 meter events, so maybe they can take something from that. But I'm sure they're ready for this, and like you said, warming up, getting those last little bursts in, maybe getting the legs ready to fire for those 500 meters. Really short time, so it's kind of just give everything you got for a minute and 30 seconds and see how you come out. So rather not leave anything out in the tank and put it all out on the course.
Definitely. Looks like maybe there's about a minute to go to the under 23 women. It has been an absolute cracker of a day out here, and everywhere actually. It's a bit rainy here, a bit miserable, but the rowing has been hot, definitely.
Yeah, that is definitely one advantage of this virtual regatta. No matter the weather, you can still compete. Whereas if we were maybe on the dam, would be limited with lightning and rain. But here, definitely still able to compete no matter the conditions, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, right, there we go. The screen has been loaded. You can now see the under 23 women that are going to race next. Like I said, probably they're just warming up, waiting for their instructions from the ergos. Wherever they are, in their lounge, in their gym, in their school, in their wherever, they are probably just warming up. And and there's the instruction there. The difference here, I mean, when you're racing in a boat, it's advantageous to try and get out ahead, because then you can see your competitors and you can watch them, and so it is you can see who's coming back at you. But here, you don't know what someone else has planned, whatever happens.
Yeah, so it's kind of just get to the line and get ready to go and react to what everyone else is doing. But as we say that, we have a sign for attention, so we should be off fairly soon. And there we go.
And we're off there. Off to a blistering start there. We see some rates there, rate 47s, rate 50s. Sitting at a 137, 136, 131. Yeah, again, they are seriously quick for women. And it is, like before, I mean, that 2,000 meter race where one girl pulled a 6:55, that's competing with the junior men.
Definitely strong time from her. Like you said, could be competing with the junior men, so holding her own there, can be very, very proud of that effort.
And the winner here, the leader, coming out with a 136 at rate 38. It looks like she's comfortable there with the Egyptian, followed by the Algerian, Tunisian. And it goes down the field. It looks like third and fourth is having a bit of a dice, so we'll see who takes that at the end. And it looks like now just past the 200, coming up to the 150, it is going to be very tight between that third and fourth place.
Yeah, I think that's been a common theme throughout today. Oh, and we haven't finished there.
No, we still got 100 meters to go.
Oh, my apologies.
So the Egyptian looks like she's going to hang on to the end. I mean, in these 500 meter sprints, it is very exciting. It's very quick. It's very hard to come back after you've taken a bit of a hit down.
That's why getting out to a really, really good start and starting strong is so important, yeah.
Now, the Egyptian came first with a 136, and the Algerian there with a 140. Third, the Tunisian with a 141. And again, absolutely blistering fast there. If you blinked, you would have missed that. So it has been an absolute crack of a day.
I think one common thing we see throughout, especially these 500 meter races, is the rate generally needs to be quite high, and maybe I'd say above 35, just to get you out in front in the beginning and hold that lead, because everyone else is going to be pushing you as hard as you can. So definitely needing to use the rate there.
Yeah, the rate is essential in these quick little sprints. I mean, at Buffalo Regatta down in East London, we usually, there's the regatta runs over 3 days, and the 2 days are the 2,000 meter events, and the day in the middle is the 500, both with heats and finals. So over that 3 days or whatever, a child can race, 6, 7, 8 times. And that is it's crucial to prepare for South African champs that are 2 weeks later.
Because at the South African champs, you're racing really top level races spread over 3 days. You might only race 2 races a day, but still those 2 races definitely take it out of you, and recovery is key. So we always tell our athletes, as soon as you get off the water and the boat's down, you get off your feet, you sit down and you take a bit of a breather before you do anything else, and just to get that recovery, because if you're not recovered by your final, the hard work that you put in the heat to put yourself in the position to be able to race the finals for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it is at that Buffalo Regatta, it is, I remember racing it in university as well, and it was just one race after the next. I mean, you could be out there for a few good hours, so it's just blisteringly fast, and it is just one after the next.
Seems like it's never ending, but I mean, when you're in the moment, you honestly can't get enough of it, so it's really, really cool.
Yeah, and there's the results for the under 23 mean 500 meters, and we will see you soon. It looks like we're going to be substituted out now, but just have a look there. There is 120 from Egypt, followed by the Algerians with a 124 and a 125. So that is great, absolutely great.
It's the lightweight men's 500 meter sprints.
Expect to see some high rates, high
Very-
watts.
Very, very low splits.
Very exciting, very
Yo,
quick race.
Here we go. They're already 100 meters down.
Alright, at the start quickly,
Egypt.
Egyptian Muhammad Allah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
122s.
Yeah.
That's very, very quick.
41, 122. Unbelievable.
Yeah, this is really, really fast splits. It's about a quarter of the race they usually race, so they're just trying to sprint it to see how fast they can go.
Yeah, none of these Selborne sprints, obviously,
Yeah.
over though. Oh, these are big
Rough,
splits.
though.
This is when this watts come into weight play and your weight comes in. But with these lightweight men, I'm assuming they're all similar, so it's going to be a
Yeah,
close
they
one.
should all be around 72.5 kilos.
Right, so Mohammed in first place, 43, 200 meters to go, splits of 124. Followed closely behind, 125, 4 meters behind him is Algerian. And then we have Mario, an individual rowing for himself, who used to row for JP High School for boys. He was a chess player at primary school, but now he's a rower and he hopes for the regattas to come back, as
Yeah.
do we. Yeah, because we miss him at here as coaches.
Yeah, it's very, very boring
Yeah.
to see that like there's no racing.
Yeah, you miss going on the water.
Yeah, this is why this is so exciting because we see some real racing.
Alright.
124.
First place
Yo.
Egyptian Mohammed with 124.2. In second place 124.9, the Algerian. And in third place as well, also an Algerian. I can't
Yeah.
see the names.
This is some very, very good times.
Ice
It's
Dawood.
light racing.
Yeah.
There's
Excellent.
about 3 seconds amongst the first 4 or 5 people.
Excellent race in there, nice and quick.
Very, very tight.
146 and the last one to go. Mario
Yeah.
from JP, well done.
Well done.
Excellent stuff. Alright, coming up next is the
It's the women's race.
Open Women's
Yeah.
500.
15 people have entered this race. We'll see how many line up.
Very exciting race.
Yeah. Women also 500 meters. Yeah.
So we got Irvin Teresa, who is from South Africa, originally from Australia, an ex-police woman, and a personal trainer. She moved to South Africa 6 years ago and is currently working in the non-profit sector. We wish you luck. Then we have Naki Sozi Batenga from Uganda.
Yeah.
We have Kendra Robinson, who's currently in the ladies' crew doing surfboat rowing as well. 2 ones here that we've had surfboat rowing. For
That is
marine,
the future rowing.
apparently, yes.
Yeah.
For Marine Surf Lifesaving Club in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal. We have Salim Heba from Egypt, also competing. Ibrahim Dina
Yeah.
from Egypt as well.
Yeah.
And then Colleen Osmond started rowing at Wits in 1992. Raced in the women's women's pair, in 1996 and 2000 with Helen Robinson. Helen and Colleen, have our eye on the Masters women's pair
Yeah. Apparently, when they were
in
rowing,
2023.
when they were rowing at last year,
Yeah,
the 2 women won the B men's final.
these 2 women.
These 2 women, her and her pair partner.
So Colleen
Helen.
Osmond and Helen Robinson.
Yeah, they're both in this race, I think.
I think it's just. Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
Helen
they're both
Robinson
in
is
this race.
yes, they're both in this race. So the doubles partners.
Yeah,
Pairs
pairs
partners.
partners, yeah. So we should expect to see a lot of splits and watts from those 2.
Right, and they're looking for the 2023 World Masters at Rudaplat. I'm looking forward to that.
Mm.
Hopefully, the plant will be back to itself because at the moment it looks like a farm.
Yeah, there's
Have you seen it
there's so
recently?
much ice.
Yeah,
I went there the other day. Packed.
And
There's about
were
1
you-
kilometer of water that's available.
Were you cleaning or?
I was just looking. Yeah.
Are there anyone cleaning? Anyone
There's
cleaning?
lots of people cleaning. So it should be done by the end of the year.
Okay, hopefully.
Hopefully, we can have a camp there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Then we have Tanya Jeffrey from
So, yeah.
South Africa.
Yeah.
A cost and commercial specialist in the infrastructure sector, a professional QS, I'm assuming that stands for quantity survey, accredited evaluated mediator and entrepreneur, having started her own business in 2019.
Sure, exciting.
And then lastly, Helen Robinson started rowing in Wemapan. Sure, when last have I heard of Wemapan?
Yeah, I used to train there all the time.
No, the
As a
nice
junior.
dust and the so
Nice
windy. I
dust,
remember.
the lack of space.
Yes, 700
Yeah.
meters, beautiful. All right, so we have got the results for the under 23 women. Not anymore. Sorry.
Take it out.
Yes, we do. First place, Egypt, Dareen Mohammed Ali Hegazi with 136.4. I hope I
Very,
pronounced that
very
right.
fast.
Second place, Algeria, Nihed Benchadli with 140.1. And Tunisian Madboa Fatouma with 142.2.
Yeah. Very, very fast times. Sorry about the pronunciation.
Yes. So congratulations to all those girls.
Yeah, very,
Well
very well done. 5 minutes, so girls are expecting to warm up, well, are warming up currently. Probably be sweating quite a bit right now, get the heart rate up.
So Helen Robinson, also planning to race the Masters. Oh yeah, that we saw. Okay.
Yeah.
She's a mother of 3 and a sports massage therapist. We wish you luck, Helen.
Yeah, she'll definitely need massage therapy.
After this.
Yeah.
I think there might be a few who might need some massage therapy
Yeah.
after this. So if anyone needs contact Helen Robinson, open woman.
Yeah.
She is probably more than willing to massage any aches and pains.
Definitely.
Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, you'll have to ask her.
Yeah, you'll have to
I'll
ask
answer
her.
that question for you. What would the strat be for a 500?
Just go.
No
I don't
pacing,
think
just
there's.
go.
I don't think there's any. Well, like, okay, I don't know. Other people could have something different, but I don't think there's any race plan. I think it's just go for home, balls
Really?
to the walls. You know, just crash it.
Did you pop 200 meters to go?
In a 500,
In a 500, yeah.
probably. Well, not pop like as in give up, but just you don't have those watts anymore because
Yeah.
you just let them all out in the first 300. So
Yeah. 500 meters is definitely a lot harder than it sounds.
yeah, it's like a.
It might just be a minute and a half, but it's definitely a minute and a half of pain.
But it goes. It just
Pure,
goes.
pure pain.
You start and then the next thing you know, you're finished. So yeah, it's like I feel like it's a race where you have no room for regret. You get out there, you give as much as you can, and that's all you can do. Eh?
Especially down, there's an event in Buffalo, in the Eastern Cape of South Africa, called Southern Sprints.
Yeah, that's a hectic regatta.
That's so hard. Crews literally race, get off, hop into another boat, race, get off, hop into another boat for the qualifying, and then finals are in the afternoon.
I think it's actually more tiring for coaches than for students.
I mean, yeah, coaching's a lot harder as it looks as well. We don't just sit around. But yeah, when you're racing that 500 meter sprint itself, when you don't even look around.
No, you don't have time. And things that go so fast. That's when the technique has to come into play because that rate is at like 40 to 50. Like
People don't really pay attention to
No.
technique. You can see it because they don't really do well.
yeah,
But yeah, so when they're going down, crushing the technique, the rate's up, holding the watts down, not popping, they do well.
yeah.
Yeah, that's very important to do well, eh?
It is, and
Not popping.
you'll see the training, like how they train, for example, at VLC or Rotoplot, wherever the crews train. You'll see how well their technique has been doing when they have sprints like this.
Yeah.
Because then the better your technique is with these high rate kind of races, probably the better you've been training, or
Yeah.
the more you've gone through the technique. So the more it's like come and set in. And,
Yeah, without that
like muscle
technique.
memory, you know.
Without that technique, you technically wheel spin.
Yeah,
So there's no like power on the oar, you just spin.
yeah,
It's not that
and
good.
that doesn't help, does it?
No.
Yeah. So this race is meant to be getting underway in
Yeah, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah, 2 minutes.
Alright, so
Race number 44.
number 1, Teresa Irvin, South Africa. Number 2, Egypt, Iman Hassan Hussein Mohammed El Sharkawi, the Egypt team. Ugandan, Batenga Nakisozi, from representing the Maroons, Aqua Sports Club. Libya team, Basman Matuh, Mohammed and Keeb. Okay.
Libya. Then there's Kendra Robinson, Monique Boshoff, and Tanya Jeffrey, all from South Africa. Haba Salim from Egypt, Gaynor Clayton from South Africa.
We saw a bit earlier representing East London for the CrossFit team with the open women 2Ks, I think.
Yeah,
She did quite well. So good to see her again. A lot of rowing for.
Gaynor.
Yeah.
But yeah, she runs the regattas here in South Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's pretty much the head
I should know.
of Rosa, yeah. Okay. Looks like people are starting to get ready for the 500 meter sprint.
Race number 45,
Yeah.
44 coming. 51 races in total. It's been a long day of racing, but it's gone quick.
Yeah, it's gone very quick. It hasn't felt like a couple of hours.
Yeah.
It really has just felt like a few minutes.
So yeah, with the 2Ks that we had earlier, you obviously the race tactic is be consistent, don't give everything out at the start and then you'll die out in the later. For example, steady pace is better than flying and dying.
Yeah.
Whereas here the 500 it's fly and die.
Yeah.
Now we gotta go.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Well, getting the oaks ready for the 500 meter sprint. Yeah, we should be underway in less than a minute.
Right, so we got 14 competitors in this
Oh, awesome.
event.
That's a big event. Usually we only race 6 to 8 people depending on the course.
What are you expecting the winning time to be here?
1:30s, 1:36s.
Alright.
I think they are off.
And the open women are off.
Yeah. High rates. We can hear the fans coming from the living room up there. The women are definitely crushing it.
Alright, so we've got
Very,
Egypt
very, very fast.
and RSA Kendra
Egypt first place. Who's that in second? Egypt first and second.
Yes, Egypt first and second.
South Africa third with Kendra Robinson.
In the third place. Alright, so
It's
two
very, very
Egyptians,
tight.
high rating, splits at 131, 132.
Oh, it's very, very quick.
In third place, about 5 meters behind those two Egyptians, we have Kendra Robinson
Yeah,
taking it away at 138.
yeah, very, very quick from the woman.
Right, we're ready at 250 halfway mark.
Yeah, this is where you kind of step up, just finish. There should be about 30 strokes left.
And it's going at a rate of 40, it goes in the blink of an eye. The two Egyptians holding strong. Kendra Robinson slowly, the gaps are just widening a bit from the
Yeah,
second place Imane.
100 meters left. It's very, very tight between the two Egyptians who have walked away from the rest of the field. Kendra Robinson doing really, really well though, maintaining that third position, followed by Monique Boshoff in fourth.
And the Moroccan in fifth. But the two Egyptians have absolutely taken this race.
It's down literally to the line.
Alright.
With 1 minute, or 1 meter between them, sorry. Oh, neck and neck.
This is going to be a
Photo
photo finish. I think that is actually the exact same time. We got 134.2 and 134.2 for
Yeah.
both the Egyptians. Absolutely beautiful performance from those two.
Yeah, it was
Well
the
done.
tight three between fourth and sixth. Those three women have also been very, very tight.
So then I'm assuming Kendra would have come second, Monique.
Kendra
how
came
it
third.
Is it the same time? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Never mind, my bad. Kendra did come third.
I don't think I've seen that the whole day.
I don't think I've ever seen that in my like 8 years of running.
Ever. That
Yeah.
was unbelievable to the two Egyptians. They obviously train very well.
Yeah, very, very hard.
Very consistent.
They might train together.
Yeah.
Are they from the same place?
Yes, Egypt.
No, like that, like the same house.
Yes, yes. I don't know.
Yeah, they're both from the Egypt team.
Lovely.
Yeah, so
Representing the Egypt team.
they'd probably be in a double or a pair. They'd be training together.
Well done to those two.
Yeah, maybe even looking at going to Masters.
Right, we are welcome back here to the Junior Men Under 19 event, the 500 meter event. It is a sprint event that we have started with. It is race 45.
And since the sprint, we've kind of compacted every entry into one race to make it a lot more pleasing to the viewers, a lot more exciting of a race. So we have 14 entries from Zimbabwe, Tunisia, South Africa, Libya, Algeria, and yeah, that's the entries. Obviously numerous entries, and we get to see how they go.
Yeah, it should be an absolute cracker. I mean, if we learn anything from under 23 men earlier, they were sitting about 120s or so.
That's fast. That is very fast.
I mean, that's what the winners were sitting around. And so then it dropped down to about the 130s, and then I think that was it. I mean, we had a race earlier that had about 18 boats in it.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That must be very exciting. Very exciting racing.
Yeah, especially as a commentator, we couldn't quite keep up with all the boats. But it was absolutely great to see all the boats that were entered, and actually what was really cool to see was, you know, the middle kind of spread was absolutely close. I mean, we had between 4th and 5th, and 5th and 6th, there was 2 splits.
That is crazy. It must be exciting racing for these young individuals. Exciting racing. And now the junior men under 19s are up.
Yeah, they just finished warming up. They're waiting for the instructions on the screen. The race before this was the open women. Some of the St Andrews old girls actually raced in that, and we could hear them in the gym. They were shouting, and the current girls as well, screaming and cheering them on, which is awesome to see. You know, the open women getting involved again.
And we can only hope that the other countries all around the world are having the exact same thing. A lot of camaraderie and cheering and passion, you know?
Yeah, so in this race coming up, the Junior Men Under 19 500 meter event, we've got Percy, who I remember in the 2000 meter event, he did actually very well.
Yeah, he came second, I think it was.
Yeah, I think he did. And then, you know, further down, the Mthatha High School guys, you can't count them out. They are being absolutely crushed.
Yeah, they've crushed some times today. They had some cracker times today.
Right, and there we go. They're getting the instructions to stop rowing. That's just to let the fans settle down and stop, so that when we do go again, the readings are correct.
And it's an even playing ground.
Exactly. So we will be going shortly.
Some of the athletes have actually raced the 2K. How do you think they're going to feel going from a 2K race early today to now racing the 5K?
It's a completely different race plan. The 2000 meter event, you know, you actually have a plan, you know, to try and keep your splits and keep your rate up, and you have a time to go for. But a 500 meter event like this, you just absolutely have to rip it for that 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Just gooi minis.
Right, have attention, and we're off.
And we're off.
Right, let's see what's happening. I saw a rate 72 there. Now we're sitting, I see some 55s, 60, 40s. So they're in rate incredibly high here.
Wow, that is a nice tight pack in the front there.
Yeah, and there we
Looks
go.
like 4 boats, almost dead even.
The Tunisians taking up first, second, third at the moment. Rating about 50. I see a 59 there from a Tunisian.
Well, looks like they're pulling away.
And they are actually all sitting very evenly. There's a 123, 124, 123. So
some great stuff.
That is going to be an absolutely very tight race. They're probably all together in the same gym.
And they're still rating 50s as well. 50, 54, 45.
I wouldn't be surprised if they are next to each other, absolutely ripping it next to them.
Yeah, I can imagine that's what you need.
Yeah, just that competition. They're probably in their gym, you know, and just absolutely trying to rip it.
Looks like this is turning into a 2-horse race between the 2 Tunisians.
Yeah,
almost nothing in it, especially over such a short distance. Anything can happen. I think there looks to be 1 meter between the 2. It looks to be dead even now.
Yeah, and about 100 to go, so we're in the last 100. Told you, if you blink, you're going to miss this. The last 50 looks like Ben just took first place there.
Crazy
rating
stuff.
49, he's probably ripping it. He's probably seen it quarter slides, and he finishes there with a 126.1, followed by a 127 and a 128.6.
Ooh, interesting.
That's the top 3.
That's some great times from these young men, especially considering that the most of them have done 2Ks earlier, so the legs aren't exactly fresh.
No, they are probably a bit tired.
Probably hurting quite a bit, especially with the lactic acid now from the 500 meter. This short little sprint. Wow, great stuff. Very exciting stuff from the Tunisians. Well done to them.
Now that is very exciting. I mean, Ben took that in the last 50 meters.
Yeah, he really took it. And took it to his friend Tunisian.
Yeah, I mean, then the times again for the top three a 126.1, a 127.0, and then third place a 128.6.
That's some fast times from these young men.
Yeah, that is
Great
absolutely quick. We just have a skim down the list there. We see if there was some close times. There was for fourth and fifth place, there was 0.3 between those two.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it must have been very tough for them as well. Both from South Africa as well.
Against sixth and seventh, there was a 0.2 between them, which is absolutely so close as well. And rounding it off down there, the Libyan with a 142.8. So that gap between the first and second.
This is quite substantial, but over a short distance, it doesn't translate to being that substantial.
No.
It's like a game of inches. On the water, it would be quite close.
Yeah, I mean, sprinting on the water is completely different to on the erg.
Yeah.
There's so much can go wrong as well.
Adds a lot more technical ability into it as well.
Yeah, I mean, trying to rate high, we'll just take a single scull for instance.
Yes,
Trying to rate high in a single skull, as well as sprint the 500 meters, you got to stay straight. You got to take in the weather.
It's still be technically sound, not stopping the boat.
Yeah,
while still ripping it as well.
Exactly, and like a race like Buffalo, when the tide can influence it as well.
Southern sprints, yeah. You get some super fast times and then some super slow times.
Yeah, depending on if the tide is coming in or out.
Did you ever race Buffalo?
Yeah, I managed to do it twice, and then once in varsity.
And how'd you do?
Well, I don't know. In the varsity, I've raced in the B event, so that was just more about the fun.
You can have the most fun. I remember racing on the was it the Buffalo River? And I remember racing a 500 meter, and I remember the waves were so large that the centre of my boat was completely off the water. I was just being held on by two little waves, and I thought it was great. And we're not doing too well in that event. We're not doing great at all. Made the final, that's about it. But it was a very fun event. Sprinting is very, very fun.
Yeah, I mean that Buffalo Regatta really does. It's completely tide dependent. So if you get a headwind with an incoming tide, you're looking at, in a pair, like 10 or 11 minute race.
Yeah, which is not to say that it's slow. It's just that's how the tide works. Is that it can slow you down that much, and then vice versa. If you on the outgoing tide, you can pull like a 5:19 in an 8, which the one Tux crew did the 1 year. Pulled that, essentially broke the world record, but it was unofficial because they had raced it on a river, not a FISA legit event.
Right, and there we have it, the open women results. The two Egyptians taking first and second, followed by the South African in third place. First place with a 134.2. Second place as well with a 134.2.
Looks like we got a dead heat there between the two Egyptians, both taking home the gold, leaving Kendra Robinson in third.
With a 142.8.
That is blisteringly quick from those two in the front there.
Yeah, that is. I don't even know how a dead heat would work on an ergo.
Yeah, what would it show you?
That is absolutely astounding. I'm not really sure how that would work, to be very honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's no it's where the photo evidence, so you can't actually tell who won. It can't be like the 2016 Rio skull final between Mahi and. I mean that
it'll come to me.
It'll come to me as well. Yeah.
I do know what you're talking about. That was an absolute crack of a race as well.
Yeah, went straight down to the wire.
Oh, that was very, very close.
Very similar to these ladies, but we have no photographic evidence, so they're both going to have to share the gold medal between the two.
Yeah, and just trying to get there. That. As well in South Africa, we've because of the pandemic that is going around, we've missed the university boat race.
Oh yes,
and we'll carry on to miss the schools boat race.
Yes, which would have happened a little bit later.
Yeah, probably in about a week's time.
Yeah, just sad. But I mean, there's what can you do in the global pandemic? All right, looks like we're ready for the next one, which is the junior women under 19 race with another 14 entries. All from different countries. Looks like mainly from Tunisia and South Africa.
Yeah.
And
there is the various clubs: St Andrew's School for Girls, Victoria Lake Club, Umtata again.
Somerset making an appearance as well. And they're off.
Yeah, and they're off there. I see a rate 72.
Crazy.
That's over a stroke a second.
That is crazy.
That is very, very
definitely
fast.
cannot be a long stroke.
No, I think there must be about half a quarter slides.
I would say even just arms and body.
So we have gone now, we're about 100 meters in, and it looks like the Tunisian is out in front, closely followed by the South African, with the Tunisian in third and fourth as well. There's some St Andrew's girls down there: Kari, Tanil, Nomazizi, Nelo, and they are just up there. We can hear them in the gym having a shot and having a row as well.
Having a great row as well. So it's very competitive for those girls racing next to each other. These Tunisians look like they're quite good at sprinting.
Yeah, that is it's completely different, like from a 2,000 meter race.
Yeah.
So through there, through the 200.
Looks like it's a 3-horse race.
That is a very, very close, and the South African just taking first, but it is very close in that top 3. Anything can happen from now.
Especially in such a short distance.
Yeah, I think the only real danger with an erg sprint like this is if you fall off your slide.
Yes, and it's very, very possible. Considering you're cranking as hard as you can.
Now,
It's always possible to lift your...
there she is in the last 100 as well.
Yes, yeah.
So if you come off that slide right now, there's no way you're going to come back.
Kiss her gold medal goodbye. But it looks like she's holding on to it.
And there she is, crosses the line.
Well done to her.
That is with a 138.7.
It's quite blistering quick as well.
That is very, very quick. Followed by the Tunisian with the 140.7, and rounding off third place at the 141.5.
So these girls have some gas, eh?
Yeah, no, definitely in the rate, you can see it.
Yeah, they've got these sprinting legs.
Right, and that's it. That's the race done. Like I said, if you blink, you're going to miss it. That's the race done in 2 minutes and 9 seconds.
That's cracking. That is a crack of a race.
That is
all 14 entries within a couple seconds of each other.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have a skim through the list right now to see if there was any exceptionally close times right now. There's one there further down between Nelo and the Tunisian. It's a 2.3 and a 2.7.
So 0.4 of a split.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is down to the wire.
That is
riveting stuff from these young ladies.
That's very, very close. Right. So up next is the lightweight under 23s. If I'm not mistaken. And
Alright. So Bas, I have a question for you.
yes.
Which one would you prefer to do? A 500 meter, 2,000 meter, or a 5 kilometer trial?
Well, currently I'd much rather do a 500 meter.
Why is that?
Just because I'm a bit lazy on the erg.
Aren't we all? Once you retire, it's hard to get back on.
Yeah, definitely. But if you had to ask me if I wanted to do a 5k or 2k back in school, I would have said 5k.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I just feel like you can get in more of a rhythm, and it's a bit more suited to me, maybe.
I would have disagreed with you because I don't want to be in the erg for any longer than I have to. So prolonging it for me is something I don't want to do. I don't enjoy sitting and suffering.
If anyone's wondering why we have moustaches, we don't usually. We're just running in November in support of men's health.
Yeah. So for all of you that are curious about it, you're more than welcome to Google Movember and learn about it, and hopefully you can make a donation. It goes a long way, and there are plenty of people out there that might need your
couple of seconds. Still warming up. Another fast 500. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it will be, and it'll also be interesting to see how the lightweight under 23s compared to the older athletes. Cool to see how they come out here. They might be more experienced in some ways, or might not more experienced, but they might be more into the rowing now. But it'll be cool to see what they do against the other women. So I think that's a good thing to keep an eye on here.
Yeah. Looks like they're just finishing up their warm up. They're getting told to stop rowing. Yeah. So it should be underway in like the next 20 seconds.
We've got quite a spread out group here with different countries, which is really cool. Nice to see all these athletes out here. Good 500-meter race, real sprint the whole way, so it's always a cool one to watch.
Yeah, and we're expecting the lightweight women to fly at the beginning, just because of the race, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There they go, right.
Yeah, there's a 53.
Got a 50, yeah.
Yo, 52, 53.
Yeah, all high up here.
Yo, lightweight women are really
40s,
really
high
pushing.
30s. They're really sprinting it through there.
Yeah, there we go. We have Egypt in the front, followed by Tunisia, followed by, who's that? Algeria.
Yeah.
Very, very quick rating, above 40, holding 134s.
Yeah, we'll see how they hold this through here. I think the biggest problem is when people come into these 500 meters, they sprint through that beginning and can't hold on. So
Yeah.
it's always cool to see how they do throughout the race.
Yeah, I think people definitely underestimate how tough
Yeah.
this is. The under 23s are pretty much on par with the lightweight women.
Yeah.
It's probably, never mind, there is quite a bit of a distance. There's like 5 meters between third place in the lightweight women to the under 23s, which is very, very strange. I would have expected the under 23s to be a bit more fit.
Yeah, I would have thought the under 23s would come out there, but
Just to show you the
never
experience.
underestimate
Yeah.
the experience and these older athletes. They always come out here.
Yeah, they're really crushing it. Okay, we've gone through the 300 meters by the looks of it. Okay, that was 100 meter, my bad. Screen's a bit far. Yeah. Approaching the finish, about 20 seconds left.
Yeah, let's see. Up, first and second place are at 40 and 50, so that's pretty.
Yeah, that's
Then I won at a 138, I think it is there, and there's just a really small gap between first and second, which is really cool to see as well.
yeah, very, very tight racing. Makes for very exciting racing. What do
Yeah,
you think you would have held?
23s.
No, as a lightweight woman.
Not bad, that's for sure.
Yeah, these guys are fast. I think I'd die at this point. I'm way out.
Yeah.
Up next we have the men's 500 meters. It looks like there's 13 people entered. 18 people entered, all across
Wow.
Africa, as you could have assumed.
Yeah, so we'll see these ones really come out with their low splits. Quite scary for some of us that don't have never gone there, but it's always cool to see as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how the CrossFit EL from Sadiq Ali will do against people like Dane Walker from EJ, Skull and Blades from Egypt, and the Tunisian team. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how CrossFitters hold up.
Yeah, it's really cool to see those people coming out here and coming into an event like this, which is so, you never actually see that. You'll never see that in a regatta on the water or like in any normal racing. So it's cool here on the ergo. You can do it. They're from all over, so it's really cool to see these athletes coming from CrossFit, coming from these. Another one from Fitness Authority.
Fitness Authority, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm really excited to see how those ones do.
Yeah, these athletes don't meet up in one spot like we usually would. They either at home or at the gym or at a school or even at their own club. So it really is just coming down to how strong your Wi-Fi connection is at the end of the day. So that's really making sure that you're racing against someone else.
Yeah.
We got the results from the lightweight men 500. Mohammed from Egypt won with the 124.
Sure.
And there's 2 people from Algeria. 124, 125, very, very close
Yeah,
between
really
first and
close
third.
racing there.
Yeah, very nice to see. There's not much of a difference between first and third.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool to also watch in the open weight men's to see what they're like compared to these lightweights. It's People often underestimate the light weights, but they come out here in these sprints and just really go for it, which is always cool to see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We've got 5 minutes before the race starts. So right now they're just going to be focusing on getting the heart rates up. Making sure that they're not too cold for the race.
Yeah, I think a good warm-up is often underestimated, but especially in a race like this, it's quick, it's fast, you've got to have that body ready because it's going to burn. So I think it's really important that these athletes come and they're warming up nicely, and you just don't want to injure yourself, especially coming here. You're hoping to obviously do well the next year, for the next half of the season, and like that's what because we have our season from August to March. So around here, that's really important that you go into this December period nice and strong.
Yeah, picking up an injury from not warming up right now is pretty rough. One of my friends didn't warm up properly for a 6K trial, which is obviously a lot longer than this, and he couldn't row for another 2 months. So it's very heavy on the back, the erg. Hopefully the athletes are treating the warm up with respect.
Yeah.
See if there's any information with the men. Women. Okay, so we have Rowan van Heerden, who served in the British Army for 5 years as an infantry soldier. He loves sports and was a professional rugby player in South Africa and in the UK. Now he's working as a consultant in the banking industry and owns a functional fitness facility with his wife. So it should be quite interesting to see how he would, coming from the British Army background as a professional rugby player, so he should be very strong and very tough, because I've seen some of the training that they do in the British Army, and that's very, 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 very difficult. So hopefully that helps him
really
out.
Exciting here for this.
Black women. Yeah, that's pretty much all the information I have on these athletes. Mohammed from Abdullah Mohammed was first place in men's 4 under 23, 2014, second place in the men's 8 under 23, and third place in the 800 meter running for 2012. So he's not just a rower, he's also a bit of an athlete when it comes to running.
Yeah, so it's always nice to see people doing different training, a bit of cross training here. It's always cool to see.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the information we have. Dane Walker rose for UJ men's first 8. He comes from the Eastern Cape, I think. Yeah, also a very big, strong boy. Hopefully he does very well today. Yeah. 2 minutes to the start. We'll be getting signals now saying stop rowing. Yeah. Actually, a bit relieved that I'm not taking part in this event as an athlete.
Yeah, it's always cool, and especially looking here, it's another widespread race. We've got athletes from all over Africa, which is always cool, especially for people that have never done this before. It's really exciting. I think also thinking about it, like you never would have done this a few years ago. It's quite a cool thing that we have now the technology, we have the stuff that we can do this. We can hold a regatta and hold these events from all over the continent. It's pretty cool that to think about, because you don't realize you're here in your own bubble when you're in the race, but when you sit down and look at it, it's quite exciting to see that you can do this.
Yeah, I think this would have been a bit of a far-fetched thought in March this year, before COVID hit. But now that it hits, and we have really no other choice but to come up with unique ways to race people, to keep people motivated for training, especially the school kids athletes, who I think have a bit of a hard time because they don't have races to look forward to.
Yeah, and I think that is the biggest thing. You, especially in school, you rode to be on the water, you rode for the racing, and so here, when this sort of stuff happens, this is when you see who's been out there putting in the hard work behind closed doors, when it's all about you're just doing it really for yourself. That's really cool to see that these athletes doing so well throughout the day, coming with these fast times. It's quite an exciting thing that for the future of rowing as well.
Yeah. There's been 550 participants in this regatta from 19 countries. So it's really, really cool to see such interest to take part in an online regatta, especially on the erg. If it was any other type of regatta, I think there would be more people, but that's just my opinion. I don't really like the erg, but it's cool.
Yeah, the erg is
quite exciting. Okay, here we go. They go told to stop warming up, so we've got to start in about 30 seconds. Hopefully a bit less. We're just waiting for 3 athletes to start rowing.
Yeah, nerves kicking in now. Really just about composing yourself, getting ready for that start and seeing how it goes.
Yeah, we're expecting to see high rating athletes from Tunisia and from Egypt. Throughout the whole day they've been rating very, very high and consistently high. They haven't been flying and dying. So they're really, really strong, really fit. So it's going to be interesting how South Africans and the Libyans hold up against the Tunisians.
Yeah.
Oh, there's been a false start. Okay, so it's just putting an extra couple of seconds before we start. It's a bit frustrating, don't you think?
Yeah.
Especially as an
You're in there
athlete.
and you getting ready and this is something happens that stops your.
Yeah.
But that's cool. We'll get there now and then.
I don't think this guy knows that he has to stop rowing. Who is this?
Yeah.
No, he's just rowing. Okay. Yeah, so if you are with other athletes, just remind them to pay attention to the screen, because on the erg screens it will tell you when to go and when to stop and give you all the information that officials would usually do. Okay, it looks like he stopped. You must be listening to my commentating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a funny thing, they have to sit and look at a screen and listen to what it tells you to do.
Yeah. Okay, ready. Okay, this is probably the most nerve-wracking experience. Just waiting for the attention and the false start again.
Oh no.
It's 2 false starts. Okay, there's been some technical issues here. To be back. I think it's the same person that wrote again. It's very eager to get going.
Yeah.
No, everyone seems to have carried on going. Nice.
No, let's hope this one they get going.
Yeah, 3rd time's always the charm, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they finally stopped rowing. So the screen will go off again, telling them to get ready and attention, and then we'll wait for the go. What do you predict the winning time is going to be?
I don't know. We've seen some 120s
Yeah, I'm expecting
men,
120s.
so I think that's going to be somewhere around there.
Yeah, this open weight men, so a bit heavier people, generally means you can pack in a little bit more muscle. So lightweight men, they were holding 124s and they restricted to 72 kilos. So with the extra weight, hopefully they can get the splits down. But we have learned that the lightweight men love sprinting.
Yeah.
Love sprinting.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, you do find that with the lightweights, they love the sprint, but often we're here, you'll see maybe some of the non-rowers, the people like the CrossFit athletes, and that's they'll come here and they'll be fit and they'll be ready to go.
Yeah. Tension. That they're off. No false start this time, thank goodness.
Yeah, there we go.
And immediately very, very, very fast.
Yeah, real sprint there through the first 50.
Yeah, most of them are racing the high 40s, which is very, very, very fast. It's 40 strokes per minute. Who's that in the lead? Can't really see, it looks like an Egyptian. And then...
Yeah, we got an Egyptian coming out here.
Yeah, Egyptian
114, I think that's...
114
I
is
don't know, I
very,
think
very,
mine.
very quick.
Maybe 110s finishes.
Yeah, I think they're very strong. They've been prepping for this for a while.
Yeah, let's hope he holds it on there. Really see how the race progresses. All high 40 rates here. Seeing they're really just going for it, max.
Yeah, there we go. Rowan van Heerden has just taken 2nd place. As we know, he's very tough because of the British Army influence. And
Oh yeah, that's
former
really
rugby player.
cool.
Yeah, there he goes. He goes hunting down 1st place, and it looks like he's just taken him. Yeah, neck and neck. Very, very, very strong man. Looks like.
Yeah, indeed. I think that's really cool to see as well, that it is someone from outside of the rowing community. It's cool that these people are here to do that. And
Yeah.
there he did.
Oh, is that a 114? Or looks like it's very fast times.
So,
Yeah,
anyone watching that's going to do this, that's the goal. 1:14.
yeah, it's the time to beat from Rowan van Heerden.
Yeah, I don't think I could get down to that split if I went max, so I think that's
Yeah, I think him and
Pretty
his wife.
good job, well
yeah.
done there.
I think him and his wife have set up a very good functional fitness facility.
Yeah, if you're looking for a place to go, that's
Yeah, there's no number or contact details, but if you're wanting to get fit, track him down on Facebook.
yeah, because they've definitely got the right idea.
Yeah,
Here we are.
and there's the last athlete finishing the race now. Yeah, there we go. Looks like a very good set of results there. 115, 120s. Yeah, tight races.
And we're off.
And hello!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your favorite time of the day. It is Ergophone time.
Alright, and we've just got an indication to stop rowing so that they can get ready.
So we got the junior men's under 19 kicking it off.
This should be quite a fast one, especially after that 118 from the last race.
That was a very good time.
Yeah,
But not to mention, second place was also a 118.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I passed out just looking at that time.
Let's let's see what these young lads can do.
We've
I
got
don't know.
Slots in number 2.
Off now. So let's look at the rates here. There's some 42s, 43s, 45s.
No 50s yet.
Right, and then we go. There's all the adjustments that go in. First place out at a 123.
Where is he
Algerian
from?
taking the early lead.
He's
Followed
from
by South
Algeria.
Africa.
Oh, okay.
Alright, looks
Hamoud
like
Mohammed from PC Annaba taking the lead.
looks like the Libyan is now taking second over the South African. Looks to be Algeria, Libya, South Africa, and so forth.
And coming into the final sprint, the last 250 of the race.
Alright, it's looking at a rate 42. The Algerian looks to be pulling up a little bit of a lead, about 9 meters, which is quite far in terms of a 500 meter.
Now he is now stretching his lead through that 200 to go. Oh, and the South African just jumped up another 3 places.
Wow, good move from him.
Now, and it looks like that there's going to be another little mix-up over there. Tunisian taking 3rd place.
It looks like Hamoud is going to take it though.
This is a really exciting race. This is quite tight all the way through, eh?
36 rating up. What's our split? 136.
Yeah, coming into the last 100 here.
Seems like the Algerian is starting to die a little bit, and the South African is now taking the lead with his average of 127 versus the Algerian's average of 130.
We've got a close Pippa into first place in the final on the line. Jordan Craig.
That
What
is
a win.
Absolute rip of a last 100 meters.
Representing St. Dunstan's College. Well done.
The Tunisian really came for him in the last end there.
Yeah, that is
he really went for him.
that South African St. Dunstan's College boy absolutely ripped it in the last 100 meters and took first place. He can be very, very proud of that
Great
little
guy
last
for him.
method.
Yeah, well done to him. Great stuff. And well done to Tunisian as well. You know, he also came from behind to take that second place from that Algerian.
And just in general, like we've said it before, they've been doing great for the entire day for Tunisians. So
Yeah.
absolutely represent.
Great turnout from them and
Yeah.
great results from them.
I mean, if you look at the top 3, there's 3 different countries in the top 3 there.
Which are
Very
This
diverse.
is South African, Tunisian, and Algerian in the top
did
3.
very well. Egypt's also been pulling through with some very, very good results.
And if you look at the top 5, then there's 4 countries. With the addition of Libya.
Some great diversity there. Good to see from all these African countries pulling through and actually racing each other. I'm
Yeah.
sure they're all having quite a jaw.
Be interesting to
race them.
see how much numbers there are from Africa will represent in the February International Indoor Regatta
So
Championship.
we're going to have to wait for the results for that though.
And after some of these times, I think actually might be doing
For sure.
some great things there.
And I think, like these all these races are very exciting. I mean, this junior men under 19 event was wrapped up in 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Literally.
All 13 of them, finishing in 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
A very quick race, which also adds to the excitement.
But even when you're rowing on the water, it's like you start, you end, it's like you don't even take note of what's around you or listen to anything.
There's
Can't
a
hear
lot
any
of
screams.
something, yeah.
Just high rate, high watts, and hope for the best.
Yeah. A little bit of technique.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you.
But us Benny's boys, we just try and crank it.
Now you got your own rowing style.
Unfortunately, Benny's boys represented today.
Yes, no you boys either. Looks like St. Stidion's the only one to pull through out of us three. Yes. Yeah.
Now there were some Cares boys as well early in the day.
Great turnout from the South African schools. Those kids should be really proud that they actually came and raced some international athletes or continental athletes. I'm sure they're going to take that experience and actually use it in their training and find some benefit from it.
Yeah, for sure, this is great for African rowing. It's been good to see.
Yeah, really great, really great.
Right, so up next, and if I'm not mistaken, the second last race of the day.
Yep.
Is the junior women under 19 event.
Looks like there's only 8 entries in this race.
Alright, yeah, so there were meant to be 15 originally, only 8 in the final draw.
There is still 5 minutes for people to sign
Yes.
in. So we would love if those athletes could sign in and actually join this race.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So we're expecting to see 4 South Africans, or no, quite a few more South Africans, a Tunisian, an Egyptian, another Tunisian, another Tunisian, another Tunisian, and then the rest South Africa. So be good to see. We've seen a lot of Umtata as well, a lot of Eastern Cape representing us. We're good to see.
Yeah, and they've been doing really well this regatta.
Who
a
is
lot of the-
CCSDF GFS?
It's a Tunisian club.
Oh, excellent.
Tunisian club.
Okay, cool. Yes.
Right, and then from the clubs that are around, there's St Mary's School, St Dunstan's College, Mtata High, St Andrew's School for Girls, the Tunisia team, the Egypt team, right, and ASL as well from Tunisia. So that is those are the clubs involved in this race that is coming up shortly.
I mean, there's also 3 different clubs from Tunisia. That's also exciting to see. You know, they've been racing each other. I'm pretty sure they're used to racing each other in their home country.
Yeah.
Now they're going to do it again over here, while still competing against the Africans and an Egyptian.
It looks like they've been also training for this ergathon, like we've said.
Yeah, they've
Earlier.
really got some great results.
Rates are consistent. I haven't seen many who've been in the top first and second under like 30. They've all been holding a constant
great.
32, 34, keeping their splits consistent. So I think they've definitely been training on the ergos, or looks like it.
Yeah.
Well, I think everyone's been training on their
Obviously.
ergos.
This whole COVID. Hopefully we get to get on the water sometime soon.
Out and there you go, you can see the lineup for the next race.
Still looks to
Junior
be
women under 19s.
8 entries only. Looks to be Tunisia, South Africa, Tunisia, Egypt, and South Africa. So a few South Africans not signing in. Hopefully they do get time.
Right, so what's also, as we've just noticed, is from the St Andrews girls that there's a few under 16s who are racing in this event.
So good luck to those. Lauren Taylor, number 14, if you are part of this lineup, good luck.
Right, and then you got the opens as well. There's Sasha Bettis, she's also an under 16.
Tandalware to Makaza, also Rowan captain, ready to crush it today.
Yeah, she's going to lead by example. I mean, she has to.
And I remember the Abdelaziz from Tunisia absolutely crushed it, if I'm not mistaken, in the the under 19 women's 2K. So I'm expecting to see a big time there from Abdelaziz.
It's quite interesting to see how certain athletes do really well over the long distance, over the 2K.
Yeah.
And some other athletes do really, really well over the short distance.
Yeah, here's where your powerhouse, your number 6s to 2s come into play.
Yeah, especially if you're looking at the 8s.
Yeah, if you look at those, yeah.
If you're in South Africa, when you race for quads, mostly in schools, I mean, you're looking at that powerhouses, you know.
3 and
For sure.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
And we look like we got a few in there, over here. Oh, another number 16, Sasha Bellis as well, who's apparently also part of this.
Yeah, I'm expecting big things from her as well. She PB today. She had a really great time in the 2K today. So yeah, let's see what she can do in the 500 meter. I'm sure she's also really excited to go and crank erg, especially after a great 2K.
She is a very powerful,
very,
very powerful under 16 girl.
Very, very strong. So we expect big things from her. But yeah, we expect big things from everyone.
No, and you know,
great race.
coaching at St Andrews, we have Sasha Bettis, and then in the opens as well, we have Danielle Bettis. And Dimitri has coached both of them.
I have. Being the assistant coach last year, I coached Danielle. And this season, I look to be coaching Sasha. So it's very interesting seeing the different dynamic between the two sisters and how different they are, actually. Same with Tennille Stroud and Caitlin Stroud. They're also sisters.
That's
the same age groups as well. Funny enough, Caitlin and Danielle rode a pair together. So it'd be interesting to see them, that pair race, Tennille and Sasha.
The older sister pair versus the younger sister pair.
Very exciting stuff to see. Are they racing each other today?
No, not in this event.
Damn.
But we do have Sasha Bellis racing Caitlin Stroud. So the two different sisters there.
So there we go, the younger sister Bellis taking on the older Stroud in this race coming up shortly. As you can see, we've got a lot more entries that are filling in now. So all 14 are now back.
They all look like we're part of that. Right, I'm expecting Abdelaziz to show big things considering her under 19 2000 result, where she dominated the scenes.
But we can't count out anyone in this.
Absolutely not.
Anything can happen.
These are very close.
Anything can happen.
Looking forward to seeing the results. And then the final race of the day is the Opens men's.
Also
That
exciting
has
race.
also going to be an absolute crack of a race.
It's always
Second
exciting to see open men. It looks like we're about to start the junior women's under 19 500 meter.
And there's the instructions.
I'm actually quite excited for this.
I'm sure you are. It's a very exciting race to be excited about.
It has been an absolute cracker day of racing.
Can't believe how quick it's gone.
Really has.
Okay, looks like they're all about ready.
This is probably the most nerve-wracking part of a race.
The attention
Just
row.
just before before that someone says go, I always find myself.
SA champs holding whole little cruise and you shaking.
Yeah.
A little shake. Eh?
Yeah.
Alright.
For me, it was always trying to check if my gate was closed properly.
Right, and we're off. Oh, it looks like some people got a quick start. Looks like the Egyptian got a nice quick start. So did South African and Tunisian. Looks like the South African.
Right, let's see how this develops now.
I think the Egyptian might take the lead here, coming into first. There she is in
Second.
second.
The African. That's the South African that I think rode the 655 as well.
Okay, they're taking it
yeah.
though. Oh, is it Tata? Excellent. He's London representing.
She is holding a 124.
At a 46 rate.
That
That is
is
great.
crazy for a young woman.
Top two are absolutely setting the pace here.
They are now about 26 meters ahead
Already.
in their own race, in their own league.
How far have they passed now?
They have just
Crossed
crossed
250, I think.
Crossed
200.
250.
Holding a 127 and rate 47 is the girl from Intata.
Absolutely dominating this race.
Rating 42, holding a 132 is the Egyptian. Hot on the heels of the South African. But it looks to be a 2-horse race between those two, as the Tunisian in third place is well off, almost 40 meters off.
With 100 to go now, we're going to see them really try and crank it up and really try and separate themselves from the rest.
Yeah, I'm sure they really hauling it in this last little bit. It looks like the South African is going to hold on to her lead over the Egyptian, and the Egyptian's going to hold a lead over the Tunisian in third place.
And then we're going to cross the
South
line.
African first.
What a race from Mlibo Nzamela from Umtata High School.
Second place to Egypt, that's time of 133.6.
And that's third place. That's just crossed the line. Right, it looks like Tando, the St. Andrews girl, is going to take fifth place.
Excellent.
Wow.
Sasha Bellistan is 16 in sixth place. Right, and Sarah Headley as well, the St. Andrews girl, followed by Caitlin Stroud in 10th place.
Very exciting
Quite
race.
interesting to see the difference between Sasha and number 16 and the captain, Tando. There's only 0.5 of the split.
Oh, it's a
Very
very,
exciting,
very, very
yeah.
close race.
Very
Especially we
exciting.
could hear them up in the gym again. I could hear the girls shouting for them, and they're very excited about it.
So what do you guys think about this, the 150.7 time from the South African?
Yeah,
Is that the winner?
That's the
That
winning
is,
time.
that is phenomenal.
Can
That
you do
is
that?
that's
I don't
competing.
think I could do that now, no. I think I would maybe last 200 meters. Listen, I'm older.
So that 130.7 would definitely put her in contention in most in the men's event that we saw before.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. She is a very fast individual.
Yes.
Be very excited to see her get on the water and actually race in the water.
Yeah. So first place again, South African from Umtata. Second place, the Egyptian. Third place, the Tunisian. And that's the top three.
It's really good to see these Umtata results from Eastern Cape.
Yeah, really great to see. That seems to be really, really good on these ergos. It's also interesting, nice to see some more diversity in the top three with South Africa, Egypt, and Tunisia. 3 different countries occupying the top 3 spots.
In the men's race coming up next, Open Men's, we got a first row from Benin, who qualified for the Olympics. Preval Klinkati, I hope I pronounced that correctly, but that's quite awesome.
Wow, an Olympian
A
race.
Mark Mulder from South Africa, marine boaties, who believes that the future of rowing should be...
Marine.
yeah, there we go.
Already.
Yeah, well, I mean, marine is sea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a coastal has a coastal.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, good on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Then we have Carl Stowe, who is from South Africa as well, who played some semi-professional rugby, provincial water polo, and did a little heavyweight boxing.
I would not want to be here.
I would not want
He
to race
looks
him.
like an athlete.
He
Let's see.
sounds like a very big boy.
Now we've got a tank on the cards.
You can keep your eye on him.
Let's see how he does in this 500 meter.
And then lastly, Abdallah, excuse me if I'm getting the name wrong, Abdelfta. He's a 6-time championship of Egypt for rowing and indoor rowing, and has also got first place in championship of Arabia for 500 meters. So we've got a big name here in terms of the 500 meters.
Stuff, yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, so this is the last race of the day, race 51, the Open Men 500 meter event is coming up now. I'm sure you can see the names there on the board. They're probably just warming up again as well and getting ready for this last event of the day.
For those who are watching, thank you for joining us. It's been an amazing day. We are privileged to have you join us, and we thank you.
And
We hope you keep you entertained a bit.
Yeah, and stay safe in these troublesome times. Hope we provided quite a bit of entertainment to
Your viewing
you know.
entertainment. And back to Dimitri for weather.
Outside is cloudy. So,
Yeah,
Jad, I wanted
it's
to
raining,
ask you, would you ever enter yourself into an event like this?
Maybe back when I was in school, definitely. Or in university, yeah, I'd consider it. Now, no.
Why not?
I think I have to get back into it. You know, like when you stop rowing, and then you get back on an erg again after a few years, it's quite tough.
It's daunting.
It is.
How about you,
It's-
Bryce?
I've lost quite a lot of weight since school.
You seem to be quite an avid cyclist, so
Well, right now, yeah, I do like to cycle a bit, but and if I had to do something right now, I'd definitely do a 500 meter.
Yeah, I've had to choose.
I'm not up to a 2,000 meter just yet.
And you?
yeah, I probably would if I didn't have a knee injury. Probably
Your knee's always injured.
Yeah.
incorrect. Continue this and it's been injured.
That's because people at JP, they don't do the squats right, so that's why. Okay, for all JP boys, I apologize. Okay, fine. If any of you want to see a fight on our television.
Benny's boy, you got nothing on that boys, alright? Just stick to your side of bed review.
You know, stick to your side of Edenville.
JP's not located.
There's a little bit of a rivalry, I know. That's it.
I mean, we've got two different schools represented here, JP, St. Stithians and St. Benedict's. always enjoy a little bit of banter between old school foes. Maybe all did race each other.
I don't know, it looks like there's about 3 minutes left to the start of this race.
And it looks like everyone is participating. Do we have all 15?
Yep, we do.
Awesome.
All 15 representatives.
So,
So who do you think would be the guys to watch in this race, Dimitri?
Definitely that Abdallah is one, and
Yeah.
that water polo rugby player boxer dude.
so we got Carl Stowe.
But you can't
and
remember
Abdallah.
the first qualifying for the Olympics from Benin.
Oh, he
Yes.
says that as well.
Gravel from
Yeah.
Benin, yeah.
So those are the three people to look out for. Obviously, we never know, there might be a dark horse amongst the pack. Might be someone we don't expect, might be someone we haven't even heard of. It might come and, you know,
To be fair, I've never heard of any of these.
well, you just read them.
Yeah.
So you've heard of them because you said it.
There's going to be a fight on television.
I'm counting down, so there must be just less than 2 minutes to go.
Yep.
I'm sure these athletes are waiting anxiously, ready to go, ready to rev it, ready to crank. What would you guys say would be the fastest time here today for this race?
Well, so far, I think the fastest we've had is a 118.
You reckon any of
Is
these
it?
guys could beat that?
If we
That
got a
is
world
a-
champion, I think so.
That is a blisteringly quick time.
Yeah,
That's,
that is literally. And it was also
so-
was it from open men or was it under
I think it was
23?
under 23 men.
There were two guys that
If
were
I'm not
118,
mistaken.
118.4 and 118.6.
Listen, I think we got some players here who can get very close to that.
I reckon 115 will be the top time from this race over here.
Oh, sorry,
115.
no, it was the open men.
That was an open man. So these guys have a one time of 118.4, 118.6 to beat. Exciting stuff. Let's see if they can step up to the task.
And what a quick race it is going to be. Don't blink, it might be over.
Funny guy.
Judd's also a comedian. He studied comedy in Vietnam.
Okay.
He's also been alive forever.
Yeah.
He's very old.
Some say that he was there when the Big Bang actually happened. He may not look it, but
Yeah.
apparently he is
Old.
really old. Really, really old.
Yeah.
Some would say
Okay.
Some say
ancient. even.
because he's so old, he should have a better beard.
Back to the rowing.
Yeah. I think the hair's withered out, you know, over time.
Yeah.
Look at us sit next to you to moustache. What is it?
Why don't you just shave moustache?
I shaved it. It was actually longer than yours. Then I trimmed it.
But then why did you keep it?
Because I was scratching my... Anyway, so in 1 minute we have the open men's.
I'm sure they're going to be getting the instructions soon to stop rowing so that we can get going with this last event, race 51.
Someone said the premier event. I always remember the race on the last event of the day and always thought to myself to be quite special.
Yeah.
You know, being the highlight of the day almost, racing the last race of the day.
Yeah. I hope there's people to stand on these ergos because I know with open men, when we do 500, those ergos tend to kind of move, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Slip your
And they can definitely mess with your time. So for any rows, they get someone to sit on your ergo, and then good luck to all of you.
Yeah, looks like we got the instructions to start rowing, which means we're going to start very, very soon.
Okay. Excellent.
Right, so we're just waiting for those wheels to stop spinning, and we will get on the way shortly.
Again, I'm very excited for this race.
You can see, Judd.
Yeah, sorry.
Almost.
My hands are sweating. My knees are weak, arms are heavy.
Some say he was there when that was written.
He's vomited on the sweater already. Yeah. He's nervous.
Alright, we're just about ready.
So there we go, the attention sign.
And they are
On the way, they're off. Let's look at this. Let's see the big jump now.
Okay, number 2, we have
boys.
looks like we have either a false start or connectivity
Yeah.
issues there. But in 4th place, Egypt looks like he's taken the lead. I believe that might be Abdallah.
Let's see what happens now. There's
wrong.
Egypt there. Right, so
Carl
the Egypt.
Stowe's over there.
Yeah, there we go.
Looks like holding a 119.
Abdallah's 4th.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
117. Wow.
Egypt.
Rating 37, so he's got a lot of power in him.
No, he must be a big boy. Must be a big boy. Holding a 118, rating 37. Really excited to see if they can beat the last. Ooh, 117. Yeah, this is looking really tight, really close. This is going to go down to the wire between the last open men heat.
2 meters
And
between
fine.
1st and 2nd. 5 meters between 1st and 3rd. Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen, especially this last couple meters when the lactic acid starts to hit and your muscles start to slow down.
So that top 4 is very, very close there. There's 5 meters from the leader. And then we're just about to see an overtake
Now
now.
this is extremely close. What is going to happen in this last little bit to the end? Who's
Egypt
gonna
in 1,
take it?
2 and 3, and Carl Stowe from South Africa now slipping to 5th.
Right, and let's see.
And-
Almost at the finish here and cross the line. There we go.
118.7.
1, 2, and 3 from
Still not.
Egypt. Congratulations to the north of Africa. You've absolutely crushed it.
Awesome stuff. That is absolutely great. What a cracking way to end the day.
Yeah, what a great race.
Well done,
What a
Egypt.
great race. Well done, Egypt. And to the rest of the participants, for a
Very
great
well
race. Yeah.
Sure. What was the winning time here?
118.7. So just off the last heat. Just off the last heat.
So that is the end of racing for today. There's no more races after this. So thank you all who participated and thank you all who entered. I hope you had a fantastic day.
And continue having a fantastic day. I know some people might be early in the morning.
And good luck for your results and the positions. Anyone who qualifies for this gets to run the virtual
looks
regatta
like we're not,
in February.
We're not finished yet. Still got
The last one
a
to go.
Tunisian.
Looks like he might have lost connection in the beginning there.
Yeah,
I think that was him now.
Or something must have happened. Maybe
Maybe he
fell
fell
off the slide or something like that.
Maybe someone wasn't staying on the mega.
Yes, exactly. It's very, very important to
Good
you.
thing that's possible.
Yeah.
Right, so anyone who qualifies for these gets to row in their own indoor championships in February for the World Virtual Regatta, which should be very interesting.
That'd be
That would be crazy.
Because I'm pretty sure you can see some hectically fast times there.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure there's some real big people out there.
some
Around
sub
some
1 things.
Yeah.
No,
What is the world
definitely.
record for 500?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
But I'm sure it's fast.
Sure, it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Should say it's like
Very
110.
fast.
Yeah, or under even.
Is that under 110?
Alright, so that's it. Having a quick squiz through the times there. It looks like between 2nd and 3rd it was 0.8 between them, as well as 0.3 between 4th and 5th.
And between 5th and
That's what I
Sick.
say, a game of inches, eh?
yeah, and especially in the final meter, that's almost nothing.
Yeah. One small mistake you can make in a technique, or maybe not doing a full stroke, that could be the end.
It can be the difference between 1st and 5th, especially in such a short race like this.
Especially on the ergo as well. I mean, you want to get as much of that.
Yeah, I want to get as
Possible.
long as possible. Yeah. Great stuff from these men. Yeah, great stuff.
So what a way to end the day. You can just see there how quick that race really was. If you just missed it to go get some water or a little snack, you probably missed it.
Or a bathroom break.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, here are the results. Everyone viewing can see some very blistering times there. Yeah. Well done to Egypt once again.
And just from us at St Andrews, thank you again for joining and watching. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Judd.
Thank you,
Ross.
Dimitri. Thank you, Russ.
What a lovely pleasure.
Absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely lovely. And we will see you
guys participating?
So so just to wrap up here, we had 550 competitors from 19 countries, and that is absolutely huge.
That is great. 19 different countries. Wow.
51 races from 7 or 8 to 4. Beautiful. On time, perfect. That's one of the great things about ergothon. So you don't have to worry about putting your boats on, delaying of races. Normally if we're at Rudderplant, we'd leave here at what, 6, 7 p.m? Now we can go now.
Boat breakages is a thing of the past.
That's it. However, I do still obviously prefer the water.
I think everyone does. The
Yes.
ergo. I know some people really enjoy it.
We don't road to ergo. Let's just say that. Or I don't think people do. I mean, I'll speak for myself here. Ergo to road.
Yeah. Us rowers, we tend not to enjoy the ergo because it shows us how slow we go.
Yes.
There's no hiding from the ergo.
There is no hiding. Yes, so it burns. I remember that pain of the ergo trials. For some reason, always used to hurt under my foot.
Oh, that's
It
the
is
worst in
very
the
strange.
balls of
Yeah.
your feet.
Yeah,
I never had that.
Never. You weren't
Never
pushing
had
hard
it
enough.
was so sore.
I definitely push hard enough because I'm pumped every single ergo trial.
It was like uncomfortably painful. Like I couldn't walk. I'd have to go on my heels.
Yeah.
Just for like 5 or 10 minutes, but then I would go back to normal. But for those 5 10 minutes, it was like the
Oh,
worst.
I know how it feels. I got it.
I never had that. Never had that. Maybe because I actually rode properly.
Because I remember at
Maybe
Benny's.
my foot to try and.
Yes, as a JP boys, ladies rowing properly. Okay. So.
Fight on live TV.
John and I are going to go quickly to the water and we're going to have a race. See who really is better.
I want to embarrass this guy. I love it.
I think we will do a coaches race. Bryce can join.
Yeah, it'll
See
be
who the
great.
best coach is. Bryce gets a penalty because he actually does train.
Yeah.
Well, you know Ricky does that as well.
What?
I'm just joking.
No, Ricky's not invited.
No, he doesn't.
Ricky's not invited. Vince is not invited.
No,
Yeah, no,
Vince
he's training
does
for
it.
you, Jay.
Yeah.
He's rowing for you, Jay, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean,
So that doesn't count.
Maybe.
technically he is,
Maybe.
but is he really rowing for you, Jay?
I mean, he's doing a bit of this and that.
Exactly. No. It's not. When I was at UJ, I was really rowing for you, Jay.
What are you?
Yeah, I was. I won a couple medals for them as well.
Aren't you cool?
It's very cool.
What boat classes?
Once I get going. Once you get going.
Yeah, let's go.
Alright.
Alright, so everyone.
So
The
just
single, the pair, the double, the quad, the four, the coxswain, the coxswain, the eight, and the octuple.
So,
Not just a pretty face, ladies and gentlemen.
so Jack of all trades, master of none.
Master of the pair. The master of the pair.
Okay. Lovely. What a day.
What a fantastic day.
Fabulous day.
Lovely.
Stunning day.